A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry, at Fair Oaks.
Are you sure of that, Jerry?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Red Morrison.
Well, who's Red Morrison?
Well, it's kind of a long story, Corporal Dent, but, well, anyway.
Yes?
I'll tell you who he is. He's a lug.
Oh, Tubby.
Well, he is. He almost got Jerry kicked out of school, didn't he?
Well, yes, but...
Hey, Red's hurt. He's got a bad cut on his arm. It's bleeding something fierce.
Is it an artery, Jerry?
No, I know about that. It's just a vein. I know what to do. Put on a tourniquet.
That's right, lad. Have you got the makings down there for a tourniquet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, here's a little stick and a stone, and I'll use my handkerchief.
Lee, what's a
tourniquet?
Yeah, what's that?
Well, don't you remember, Tubby? We learned about that in Dr. Campbell's first aid lectures. You tie a knot on a handkerchief or some other piece of cloth, and then put a rock or something else that's hard against the vein or artery. And then you twist the cloth with a stick so that it stops the flow of the blood.
I guess I missed that one.
How are you getting along down there, Jerry?
Okay.
Is the bleeding stopped, lad?
Yeah, almost. I'm just getting the rope around him now. There. Okay, I'm coming up.
Yes. Be careful of those rocks on the sides.
Yeah. Okay.
Gee, Jerry can really shinny, can't he, Lee?
Oh, you bet he can.
All right now, lad, give me your hand. All right.
Okay. Whew. All right, now we'd better hurry and get Red up here as fast as we can. Has Tom come back with Captain Gardner yet?
No, not yet,
Now,
Jerry.
don't worry about who ain't here yet. Worry about that lad down there in the well. Did you fasten that rope on him right, Jerry?
Yes, sir, just like you told me. Under the arms, the knot around in the back.
All right. Now, you there.
Me, sir?
Yes, I'm pointing right at you. You. You see that pole there, the stout one?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're on detail now. Grab that pole and set it across the well.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that ain't no way to carry a pole. Save yourself trouble and strength by carrying it in the middle, so the weight's even on both ends. That's it, yeah. Lee.
Yes, sir.
And stop calling me sir. Told you once I was just a lance corporal.
Yes, sir. All right, I'll remember.
Come on. You're slower than molasses in January. Put the pole across the well. It's good and stout. So, now, Tubby.
Yes, sir.
Brace yourself against one end of the pole. You take the other end, Lee.
All right.
Now, what I'm aiming to do is this. Put the rope over the middle of the pole. It's right in the center of the well. So when we pull up the lad, he won't bang against the sides of the well. All right, Jerry, you help me pull.
Okay, Corporal.
You ready, you two?
Yeah,
All right, now brace yourselves against that pole so that it don't slip when me and Jerry pull against it. Remember, there's a man on the other end of this rope. And the two of us pulling.
I'm ready, Corporal.
And I'm braced.
All right. Now, when I give the command, we'll haul away. Jerry?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Detail, ready, pull. Steady, Jerry. Hold fast there, Tubby.
Yes, sir. I mean, Corporal.
Are you still braced, Lee?
Tighter than a drum. I won't slip.
All right, now ready for another pull. Detail, ready, pull.
Watch it. His head's coming up.
All right, attention now. Keep a tight brace against that pole. But see if you can work it over to the side. That'll work the lad over so we can grab him and haul him out. All right, now easy there.
Is that far enough?
Yeah, that'll do. Oh, Jerry. Grab the end of the rope. Take it to one of those stout trees behind you and hitch it on tight. Don't leave any slack, because it wouldn't be any use pulling this lad up and then letting him down again. All right, now step to it, Jerry.
Yes, sir, Corporal.
And you too. Don't loosen up even a mite, or you'll have the lad falling down again.
All right.
Okay, the rope's fastened.
Good. Now we'll let go slow-like. Now. There she goes.
Not going, Corporal.
Good, that's good. Well, I guess you're worth a little something after all. Now, step forward and help lift this lad out of the well.
Yeah, come on, Corporal.
All right, now, under his shoulders there. There he is. Now, careful there, lads.
All right.
Don't bang him around like a sack of wheat. You want to kill him?
Okay.
From the looks of him, I'd say he was in bad enough shape as it is without you rolling him around here.
Gee, he's still unconscious.
All right, 2 paces back there, Tubby. Let me have a look at him. Yeah.
Is he hurt badly, Corporal?
Well, I don't know. I ain't a doctor. Although it be that I did a bit of doctoring up of wounds in my time. Yeah. Bones seem to be all right. I can't tell, though. That cut looks the worst. Say, it's about time that doctor of yours got here. Now, in my time, doctor was always on the spot when he was needed. Wasn't none of this fancy stuff, neither.
Yeah, well, they had to come all the way from the gym.
You know, a bit of water do all right here.
I can run to the lake and get some.
No. Can't do that. Can't take a chance on that kind of water. Why, I remember once, just before El Conde, one of the fool rookies used bad water. Brought on a fever. Yes, sir.
Gee.
What happened?
Oh, now, look here. You think we got time to tell stories?
Hello! Phillips! Dugan! Hello!
Oh, that's Captain Gardner. Hello!
Dugan!
Yes, sir. Come straight ahead, sir.
Captain, a real one or one of your tin and taffy soldiers?
Oh, he's a regular Army captain, Corporal. Served in the World War. He was in the Philippines, too.
Bet a hat he never went through the jungles, chopping his way through with bolo knives, with bullets whistling around his head like a flock of hummingbirds.
He was decorated.
Decorated. Nowadays they give away medals to a rookie if he peels a potato without wasting the meat on it.
Men?
Right here, sir.
Oh, thank you. Better have a look at him, Dr. Campbell.
Right away, Captain Gardner.
Corporal Dent reporting, sir.
I beg pardon. Excuse me. You're Mr. Dent.
Lance Corporal Dent, sir.
Oh, yes, Corporal Dent. You helped the boys?
As best I could, sir. Hey, you lads, attention. There's an officer here.
Thank you, Corporal.
Is he hurt badly, Doctor?
Seems to be no broken bones. Pretty bad bump on the head. This cut on his arm is deep. But I don't think it'll prove serious.
Is it safe to move him, Doctor?
Yes, I'm sure it is.
Good. Dugan, Phillips?
Yes, sir.
Help Dr. Campbell put Morrison on the stretcher we brought.
Oh, yes, sir.
Corporal Dent, I'd like to thank you for helping the boys.
Oh, gosh, I didn't do nothing but bring a rope.
Just the same, I'm sure we're all very grateful.
Well, thank you, sir, thank you. I do hope the lad comes along all right.
Well, this is going to be bad for him.
Bad, sir? Well, what's that mean?
Well, I shouldn't say this to anyone outside of Fair Oaks, Corporal.
Yes, sir.
But you're an Army man. You'll understand and keep quiet about it. This young man, Morrison, he's rather a problem. He was out of bounds tonight without permission.
AWOL, eh?
Yes.
Oh, that's bad, sir. No discipline. No Army.
That's right, Corporal. Oh, I see you're still at attention.
Huh? Well, so I am. Well, confound it. What would you do if a lot of brass buttons stood up in front of you after you had nigh on to 50 years of Army behind you?
I'd stand to attention, Corporal, but at ease.
Yes, sure, sir. Well, I guess I'll just be running along. It's way past my bedtime.
Gee, thank you, Corporal Dent. It was swell of you to help.
Oh, gee, I'll say it was. We could never have done it alone.
And Red was wedged pretty tightly down there. He might have smothered.
Is he ready to go, Dugan?
Yes, sir. He's on the stretcher.
Good. We'll be off then. Thanks again, Corporal Dent.
Oh, don't mention it. Just stop talking about it, will you? Say, sir, pardon me, but if you want to do me a favor,
Certainly, Corporal. What is it?
Well, sir, you might let me know how the lad comes out.
Oh, certainly. We'll have Phillips and Dugan come out here and let you know.
Oh, that'll be swell.
All right, but mind you, I don't want you traipsing all over. I might have a few things to show you. Well, good night. And, Captain.
Yes, Corporal?
You might know the old Army saying, a mule can be broken into harness in more ways than one. Understand?
Yes. Yes, I think I do, Corporal. Good night.
Well, good night. Good night.
Good night, Corporal.
Dan.
Good night. Gee, that was funny.
What?
Well, what Corporal Dent said about a mule.
Oh, yes, he was referring to Morrison. I needn't tell you, men, that this latest escapade of Morrison's it'll be very bad for him.
You mean he might get kicked out of school, sir?
That might happen, Cadet Young.
Well, I guess he knew what he was doing when he tried to run away tonight, because that's certainly what he was doing.
I'm afraid so.
Captain Gardner, do you... is there a chance that he might be allowed to stay?
Well, I don't know, Jerry. After that saddle episode, things look pretty black for him. But we decided a good strong dose of discipline might straighten him out. But now, this case will undoubtedly come up tomorrow.
I'm ready now, Captain. We can carry Morrison back.
All right, Doctor, I'll be right there.
Can't we help carry him, sir?
No, I'll help. You men did enough for tonight. Just follow along behind.
Captain Gardner.
Yes, Jerry?
Do you think that I might say something for Red tomorrow? I mean, put in a good word for him.
Why, I don't know, Jerry, but I'll tell you what. You appear tomorrow before the court, the faculty of the school, and say what you have to say. Now, follow along behind.
Boy, are you a sucker.
Huh? Me?
Yeah, you.
What's the idea, Jerry?
Well, I don't know. I kind of know how Red Morrison felt, having a chill on him and all that. It doesn't make you feel any too good about things. I ought to know.
Oh, yes, but you weren't guilty. Red is.
Just the same, I know how he felt. He wanted something so bad that he didn't care how he got it.
Oh, that's just it. He should have used his head.
If it was up to me, I'd kick Red Morrison out of here so fast that you couldn't see anything but smoke.
Yes, he's got to take his medicine, Jerry.
But I do feel sorry for him. You know, there must be something good in him, something that made him come into our room last night to apologize to me. Remember?
Yes. Yeah, he didn't have anything to gain by it, because just an apology wouldn't make up for all the damage that he
Beans, that was just an act.
Well, I don't think so, Tubby.
Oh, you guys are too soft. Listen, didn't he loosen the strap on Splendor?
Yeah, but...
But nothing. Splendor might have crashed right through the hurdle. If it wouldn't have been for Paul Warren, he could ride swell. And Splendor might have been hurt badly, and they might have had to shoot him.
Yes, that's another way to look at it.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Of course, hurting Paul Warren was the worst, but something might have happened to Splendor, too, and, well, I wouldn't like to think of that.
Now you're talking. Keep a stiff upper lip, Jerry, and let Red take his medicine. Believe me, he's got a big dose of it coming to him.
Gee, now I don't know what to do. If I don't try to help him, then Captain Gardner will think I'm backing down. And if I do try to help Red, then the rest of the school will just think I'm playing the grandstand. I don't know what to do now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is tree. T-R-E-E.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood.
Have you seen?
Did you ride?
Did you drive a new DeSoto? Hurry up.
Do it now.
At your dealers today. It's designed for you and your budget too. It's the 1952 DeSoto.
It's here. Yes, it's here. The new 1952 DeSoto is now on display at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Be sure to see this beautiful new car. Listen for further details later in this program. And here he is, the one, the only...
Never heard of him.
Oh, that's me.
Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples. Mr. Fetterman, who's supposed to try for the $1,000?
Well, we invited some architects to the program tonight. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mr. Walter Hagedorn. His partner is a young woman from our audience, Miss Sheila Crystal. And here they are. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Miss Sheila Crystal. And Mr. Walter Hagedorn?
Hagedorn.
Hagedorn. You're an architect?
Yes, I'm an architect.
Where are you from? Mason City?
No, I'm from Petaluma, California.
Where?
Petaluma, California, the world's egg basket.
Oh. Well, I ought to have been born there. I've laid many of them. Miss Sheila Crystal?
That's right, isn't
May I ask your age?
it? 25.
25. What part of Ireland are you from, Sheila?
It's my mother who was born in Ireland. I'd narrowly missed being born in New Haven, Connecticut, but I was born in London instead.
In London, Connecticut?
No,
New London,
England.
Oh, London, England. Huh? Would you say that Sheila, as an architect now speaking, would you say that she's early American, modern, or rambling?
Well, I'd say she was modern with maybe some early American influence.
Is that true, Sheila?
It'll do.
Well, now, why would I need an architect? Why can't I just go to a builder and tell him to build me a house?
Well,
Hagedorn?
you could.
I'd love to say that name. Hagedorn.
You could go to a builder, but if you want a real home to suit your needs, you should go to an architect, because behind every real home, there's an architect.
Times have certainly changed since I was a lad. That certainly wasn't what you'd find behind every home. You'd find a chicken coop, that's what you'd find. Fooled you, didn't I? You ought to be ashamed of yourself, all of you. Now, well, Sheila, every girl has plans for a dream house. Would you give us some idea of what you'd like?
Oh, I think an early American salt box type of house. I lived in one in New Jersey, and
you live in a salt box?
It's a salt box type of house.
Oh.
It's early American. Of course, it would have to have plenty of space behind it for kennels.
Why, Sheila?
I have a pair of Rhodesian Ridgebacks.
Is that so? Well, if you keep your mouth shut, nobody will notice it. Just what is a Rhodesian Ridgeback?
It's a lion dog.
A what?
A lion dog.
Well, I'm a lion dog myself. What do you mean, lion dogs? You mean they're always lying under the stove?
No, they hunt lions.
They hunt lions in New Jersey?
No, in South Africa.
Oh. You live in New Jersey and you send them over to South Africa?
No, you've got me completely wrong. I live in California.
You just told me you lived in a salt box in New Jersey. You were born in Connecticut and you hunt in Africa. Kid, you certainly get around.
It's confusing, isn't it?
Oh, it's devastating. Would you mind amplifying this a little more?
About the dog?
About anything. I don't care. My standards are low. I don't care what we discuss.
Well,
Tell us about the lion dogs.
Well, they hunt in packs. There are about half a dozen of them. And they're noted for their ability to scent a lion about a mile away. And they bait him out of hiding. And they hold him for the huntsman's coup de grace.
Oh. Well, a huntsman without a coup de grace is nothing, huh? I don't see how they can get around without one. Do these dogs ever get into trouble? They have no lions to chase around here. Do they keep in practice by chasing the milkman or iceman?
So far, they've been quite well behaved over here, but I can remember an instance in South Africa where Chaka, was beyond the pale. Chaka, that's the name of the dog, yes.
He was beyond the pale? What do you mean? He was thirsty and they...
No, but he kept 2 honeymooners out of the hotel by barking when they tried to open the door, and they had to stay out till about 3 o'clock in the morning when I came to rescue them.
Very funny. That Chaka is really a dirty dog. Well, this has been most interesting, and if I ever want to build a doghouse, I'll consult both of you. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,000 question. Right now, I want you to hear something of real importance.
Have you seen?
Did you ride?
Did you drive a new DeSoto? Hurry up.
Do it now.
At your dealers today. It's designed for you and your budget too. It's the 1952 DeSoto.
It's here. Yes, it's here. The new, the 1952 DeSoto is now on display at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Across the nation this week, folks everywhere are getting their first ride in the beautiful new 1952 DeSoto. You'll be thrilled when you step through those big wide doors and see how roomy a car can be. Inside, you sit naturally. You relax in seats that are chair high. Yes, the 1952 DeSoto brings you a whole host of wonderful features. Features like Oriflow shock absorbers to help give you one of the smoothest rides you've ever known. Waterproof ignition to give you sure starts, even in the dampest weather. To protect your family in case of blowouts, famous safety rim wheels. The new, the 1952 DeSoto is designed for you and your budget, too. See the new 1952 DeSoto. It's now on display at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
All right, now let's see how you work it together as a team. George, explain the rules.
All right, you bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later in the show.
Is that clear, Mr. Hagedorn? Here we go. Let's see how I can build you $20. You selected nursery rhymes. Here's your first question. How much are you going to bet?
Let's say 18.
15, I think, would be conservative.
Let's make it 18.
No, let's make it 15.
Oh, no, let's make it 18.
Well, I think we'll make it 15. 15?
15.
This is a woman's world we're living in, Mr. Hagedorn.
Well, I'll find out.
We don't want to put all of his eggs in one basket.
Betting $15. Where did Peter keep his wife?
Pumpkin. In a pumpkin.
In a pumpkin.
In a pumpkin shell is right.
Well, you're off to a good start. You have $35.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the $35 will you bet on your second question?
32. Let's make it 30.
Well, I got the last one. You get this one.
Thank you.
Why don't you alternate and decide on how much you're going to bet? All right, you're going for $1,000. You're going to bet $30 this time. How old was the peas porridge in the pot? You know.
9 days old.
9 days old is right.
You're climbing. You have $65.
I think Hagedorn has been building kiddie coops. Here's your third question. How much will you bet?
62.
62. Who kissed the girls and made them cry?
Georgie Porgy.
Georgie Porgy is right.
You now have $127.
All right, and here's your last chance to be the other couples. How much will you bet?
Let's make it 100.
Uh-huh.
We come up with something.
All right, here we go for $100. $100. Who runs through the town in his nightshirt, rapping at windows?
Wee Willie Winky.
Wee Willie Winky is right.
And you wind up with a grand total of $227. Thank you very much.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We have a tailor and a housewife now, Groucho, and here they are, Mr. Richard R. McIntosh and Mrs. Catherine George. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mrs. Catherine George, you're the housewife. Where are you from, Mrs. George?
I'm from Macedonia, Greece.
You're from Greece?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. George doesn't sound like a Greek name. Are you married to gorgeous George?
Oh, no, it's Georgiopoulos. His name is Georgiopoulos, but I just dropped the Opoulos.
My Aunt Minnie did the same thing. She was really Minneapolis. And I had an Indian uncle named Indianapolis. Nothing. What sort of work does your husband do?
A restaurant man, but of course he's retired now.
He's retired?
Mm-hmm.
You have any children?
Oh, yes. 5 children and 7 grandchildren.
How did you meet your husband?
Well, my husband was captain.
I'll call you Sheila, huh?
Call me anyway, anything you want.
I'll call you Catherine. Isn't that right?
Yes, Catherine, yes.
Katerina.
Mm-hmm. My husband was the captain of the Greek army. He passed by my hometown. You know, I come from a very small town in Macedonia. And he says the first minute he set eyes on me, he fell in love with me.
Well, that's understandable. I can understand that.
So, he proposed to me. The next day, he came back and he says, I want to marry you. Would you marry me? I said, so soon? I just met you. Well, he says, I am an army man. I got to do things in a hurry. So, I said, well, can you give me a few minutes to think about it? And he says, well, you can think all you want. He didn't even me think, you know. He just kept talking about all the adventures we were going to have in the war. He was going to take me to war, mind you. And I was only 16 then. So the first day we were met, the second day we were engaged, and the third day we were married. And the fourth day, he took me to war. Really? And you know how, Mr. Marx? He put me in the trunk. Believe it or not. And he put the trunk in a big truck, you know, and up I went. In the boat, you know how they lifted with the winch?
Yes.
There I went.
There was a winch in the winch, huh? Well, a winch in the winch, I don't know.
For 2 weeks. For 2 weeks.
You were in the trunk?
No. The first day I was in the trunk.
It's a fine honeymoon, alone in the trunk.
That's right.
You didn't know you were going to go through all this when he proposed to you, huh?
Well, no. He didn't tell me that I was going to go in the trunk because if I had to do that again, I wouldn't do it now. Love or no love? Greek officer or not Greek officer?
You're absolutely right. Now,
but I was only 16.
You're not much older now, Mrs. George.
Oh, yeah.
You look like about 19 now.
Thank you.
And very, very, very cute. Now,
Thank you
Mr.
very
Richard McIntosh, that's a Scotch name, isn't it?
That's right.
And you're Scotch, huh?
That's right, too.
Are you a quarter or a fifth?
Well,
what part of Scotland are you from, Mac?
Ogden, Utah.
I always thought Ogden was in South America. Eh? I think he is. I had a letter from him a couple of days ago. A fellow named Ogden, Utah. He lives in South America now. You wouldn't believe that, would you?
Well, it sounds incredible.
Certainly does. Maybe it was in Central America. I'm not sure. You're a Schneider? A tailor?
That's right.
That's kind of a curious business for a Scot, isn't it?
Well, I don't think so. There are a great many Scotch tailors.
Is that so? They cut the cloth real short, I suppose. Are you married?
Oh, yes.
Well, you've been to the cleaners already, huh? Where do you work, Mac?
Well, I work several places. We have a store in Seattle, one at San Francisco, and our main store here in Hollywood.
Oh, I see. And what is your job at this establishment?
Well, I'm in charge of the general tailoring and general manager.
Oh, you stand around and needle the tailors? Is that what you do?
That's what you have to do in this business.
Now, suppose I find myself in your shop for a suit of clothes. Now, what happens first?
Well, the salesman greets you.
No, I've already been greeted by your salesman. He just pulled me in off the sidewalk.
Well,
now, suppose you don't happen to have the style suit I'm interested in.
That's impossible because we have all style suits.
Good. It happens I'm interested in a diving suit.
Well, you have me there.
Because I go to many dives later in the evening. Well, you're an interesting couple, and my advice is if you want the very best in values, visit your DeSoto Plymouth dealer. There we go. Now, let's see how high can you. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance. $1,000 question. You run your $20 no more than our other couples. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but Georgeopolis Fenneman is going to remind our listeners.
The architect and the lady with the dogs won $227.
Georgeopolis.
Is somebody else by this name here?
Oh, there are...
I thought I was the only one.
Oh, no. This town is loaded with Georgeopolis. Did you meet Mrs. George?
How do you do?
This is Georgeopolis Fenneman. Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected names taken from occupations. Now, how much are you going to bet? You have $20.
Well, let's start easy. How about $10?
All right, $10. Many years ago, surnames were derived from occupations. These are some of the more common names used today. We'll describe the occupation, and you give me the name. Here's your first question. You're going to bet $10. What do you call a man who cooks breads and cakes?
There must be no question about that. A baker.
A baker is right.
You now have $30.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the $30 will you bet on your second question?
20.
$20.
$20. A man who makes casks or barrels is called what?
What'd you say, barrel?
Barrels or casks? Wine casks? I'm sorry, your time is up, kids. The answer is Cooper. All right, now here's your third question.
Drop down to $10.
You have $10. How much of the 10 are you going to bet?
Well, let's go a little higher now. That's
$8. What do you call a man who makes beer?
A brewer.
A brewer is right.
Well, now you have $18.
Now you're climbing again. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 18 will you bet?
I expect 16. How about 16, so we still have...
16, so we'll have 2 left.
2 if we have more. We're not going to lose.
All right, 16 is it.
All right, what do you call a builder of wooden structures?
Carpenter.
Carpenter.
A carpenter is right,
And you wind up with $34.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We have a young couple about to be married, Groucho. They were chosen from our studio audience from among several engaged couples here tonight. Miss Jackie Lervold, Mr. Peter Hamburger. Come in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, youngsters, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and win $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Let's see now. Jackie Lervold, is that right?
Level, yes.
Level. How old are you, Jackie?
18.
18, huh? You're pretty young to be 18, aren't you? And Peter Hamburger, what is your age?
I'm 21.
21. Well, it's the oldest hamburger I've ever seen. Although I've been to many drive-ins where they were around 19. Where are you from, Pete?
I'm from Amsterdam, Holland.
Oh, you're from Holland?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Oh, I didn't know they had hamburgers in Holland. And, Jackie, what is your hometown?
Everett, Washington. It's just north of Seattle.
Oh. Are you married?
No, not yet, but I plan to be.
You're going to be? Well, congratulations. Are you married, Pete?
No.
I know you haven't had much time to form a definite opinion, Jackie, but what do you think of this young man?
He is my fiancé. I'm going to marry him.
Oh, really? Well, this is the shortest romance I've ever heard of. So in that case, you have my permission to get married. Congratulations to both of you. Have you got a job, Pete?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm assistant manager at the Lower State Theater downtown.
Assistant manager at the Lower State Theater? And Jackie, are you working?
Yes, I'm an usher at the Lower State Theater.
Oh, well, how did you two get together? You must see a lot of movies, don't you, Jackie? Do you have any preference? What kind do you like best?
Well, I like them all, but on the job I think I like the bad ones. Because the good ones always stay so long, you've got to keep watching them all the time.
That's a curious reaction, huh? Incidentally, do they send you girls to a special school to learn how to send 6 people in a row where there's only 4 seats? You picked this up yourself, huh?
A good usherette wouldn't do that.
I guess not. A good usherette would let them find their own seats. Who's your favorite actor, Jackie?
Humphrey Bogart.
Humphrey Bogart, eh?
Yes.
How about you, Pete?
My favorite actor? Gary Grant.
Who?
Gary Grant.
You mean Cary Cooper, don't you? Gary Grant. I can't even say it myself. Do you know what you're up against getting married in times like these, Pete?
Yeah, I believe I do.
And why aren't you beating it for Amsterdam? Jackie, is Pete jealous? For example, would he mind if I kissed you? Just a little peck, you know. Sort of a Gregory peck.
I don't know. You'd ask him.
Pete, can I kiss your girlfriend?
I'd rather you wouldn't.
What about just a small kiss for $1? $5?
No.
$10? $10, Pete?
Is that the highest you go?
That's as high as I'll go, and that's as low as I'll go. Eh? Well, you're a charming couple, and I know you'll have a long and happy life together in the lobby of Low State. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. Beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but Georgiopolis is going to remind our listeners.
The architect and the lady with the dogs are leading with $227.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected Latin songs as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
$10.
$10. All right. Let's see if you can give me the name of this Latin song. Okay, Jerry. What's the answer?
I couldn't think of it.
Oh, you should have known this. It's the peanut vendor. You sell them in the lobby, don't you?
You have $10.
Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much of the $10 you going to bet this time?
$5.
$5. Give me the title of this song. Play, Jerry. I'm sorry, it's Perfidia. All right, well, that's a shame. You
have $5 now.
$5. This won't do. You can't get married on $5. Here's your third question. Now, how much are you going to bet of the 5?
$250.
Okay.
$250.
$250.
All right. What is the name of this Latin song? El Rancho Grande.
You now have $7.50.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. You have $7.50. Now, Well, how much are you going to bet?
All of it's okay.
All right, shoot the works. What's the name of this song?
Brazil. Oh, wait a minute. Brazil.
Brazil is right.
They wound up with $15, and that means that the architect and the lady with the dogs with $227 in just 1 minute get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question. Every day in every state in the Union, thousands upon thousands of motorists take their cars for service where they see the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Skilled mechanics who know your car like a book locate and repair trouble quickly. They're aided, of course, by the most modern tools and equipment. Equipment that assures you of a faster job, a better job, a job that saves you money. These DeSoto Plymouth mechanics have been trained in factory methods. This training, plus their years of actual on-the-job experience, assures you of trouble-free driving for miles and miles and miles. So, for a fair and square deal every time, look for the familiar sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And be sure of a top service job at a price that's fair. Every day, everywhere, thousands upon thousands of motorists take their cars for service to DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Here's the architect and the lady with the dogs, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question, Groucho.
Now, you can buy a couple of extra line dogs, if you win this. Here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Ready?
Yeah.
Got your thinking caps on?
Mm-hmm.
Children of all ages have known and loved the stories of King Arthur. Let's see how good your memory is. For $1,000, tell me, what was the name of the legendary city where King Arthur held his court? Walk it over. What's the answer you two have decided upon? If you don't know, take a stab.
I'm sorry.
It's Camelot. Camelot.
All I could think of was Mort Arthur.
So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, you lost the big money, but they won how much?
$227 in the quiz.
$227. That's not too bad for an evening's work. Congratulations and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the 1952 DeSoto.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. A minute for safety beats a month for repairs. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
This is Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's purer than finest Castiles. Well, it's Tuesday night again. Time for another pleasant visit with Jimmy Cash, Paul Whiteman and his music, and George and Gracie. Here they are. Well, while George is reading his morning paper in the front room, we find Gracie in the library. She's engaged in writing a letter when the library door opens and a man enters. He is tall, good-looking, and obviously very intelligent despite his youth. Hi, Gracie.
Hello, Bill. Come on in.
Well, I won't bother you, Gracie. I see you're writing a letter.
Oh, I'll be through with it in a minute. Listen, how does this sound? I'm mad about you, sweetheart. I can't live without you. I must have you for my own. Did I get over the idea that I like 'em?
Like him? For goodness sakes, who are you writing that to?
Big Jake.
Big Jake? Big Jake who?
I don't know. I never met him.
Well, then, Gracie, how do you know you can't live without him?
Well, it says so in this letter I'm writing.
I'm beginning to see why George always looks like he was just slugged by a commando.
Hello, Gracie.
Hello, Tootsie.
Oh, hello, Bill.
Hello, Tootsie.
Gracie, did Big Jake write? Is there a letter for my sweetheart?
Your sweetheart? I thought he was Gracie's.
Oh, Bill, how could you think such a thing? Big Jake is going to marry Tootsie.
Well, then how come Gracie was writing to him?
Well, it's like this. You see, I joined this Lonely Hearts Club.
Oh, a Lonely Hearts Club.
Yes, and they told her about a man in Peoria who was crazy to get married.
Uh-huh. And they advised me to send in my picture, so I did.
Uh-huh. And what did the man do after he got the picture?
He dropped out of the club.
I see.
Well, I was about to give up in despair when a letter came addressed to Miss 23. That's my Lonely Hearts number.
I didn't think it was your age, Tootsie.
Oh, no, my age is 22.
Oh, pardon me.
Well, anyway, this letter was from Big Jake. He asked for my picture, too, but this time I didn't take any chances.
No, she sent him a picture of the Dharma girl.
Oh, really? Which one? Rita Hayworth?
No.
Hetty Lamar?
No.
Betty Grable?
No, but she didn't want her.
Well, I give up, Gracie. Who?
Me.
Oh.
Yes, it was a picture she'd given me, autographed with all my love, Gracie. So now he thinks my name is Gracie, and she has to write my love letter so the handwriting will match.
Oh, well, now I get it. Well, Tootsie, did he send you his picture?
No, but I'm sure he's just my type. He's somewhere between 18 and 70, and he's single.
And Bill, he writes that he's a lonely rancher in Wyoming, and he has over 10,000 head of cattle.
Oh, I'm so thrilled.
Well, you should be. Imagine getting married and surrounded with beef at the same time.
Yes. Beef and married are awfully hard to get this year.
Well, Tootsie, if you're planning to get married soon, there are certain things which every young girl should know.
Oh, really, Bill? What are they?
Oh, Gracie, you're married. What about George?
Well, I'll explain them to him later.
Well, I'll tell you, girls, to be happily married... Now, don't blush. I'm going to be very frank. To be happily married, you must make sure of one thing.
What, Bill?
That there's plenty of Swan soap in the house. That's Swan, the new white floating soap that's purer than finest Castiles. A regular suds and whiz.
Well, Bill, tell us about, life.
Well, okay, Gracie. Have you ever noticed how the bees fly from flower to flower?
Yes.
Have you ever noticed how the birds fly from tree to tree?
Yes.
Well, that's how people fly from the dining room table to the kitchen to wash the dishes with Swan. Swan gives heaps of suds even in hard water, and it's so mild it helps keep your hands soft and lovely. That's why you should use Swan for every soap and water job around the house.
Bill, I don't think you're interested in seeing me happily married at all.
Oh, sure I am, Tootsie, and you'll be happily married if you remember this. Marriage is give and take, Tootsie. Share and share alike. So always break your bar of Swan in two and give half to Big Jake. Swan breaks in two with an easy twist of the wrist. So you can use half in the kitchen for dishes and cleaning, and half in the bathroom for your hands and face, tub or shower. Well, goodbye, Tootsie, and I hope you'll be very happy as Mrs. Say, you don't even know that fellow's last name.
Oh, that's all right. To me, he's just Big Jake.
Uh-huh. Well, Tootsie, if he marries you, he's one of the biggest Jakes I ever heard of.
Postman.
Good morning, Mr. Burns. You're quite a stranger.
Yeah, we don't see each other very often. Any mail this morning?
Your wife usually greets me at the door. She's a wonderful woman. You lucky dog.
Yeah, that she is. Any mail for me?
She and I are kindred spirits. We have the same jolly devil-may-care outlook on life.
Did you bring any mail?
She's very thoughtful, too. She always inquires about my health.
Look, Mr. Postman, is there any mail?
Most people just ignore it, but I find my health very interesting.
Okay. How's your health?
Oh, nice of you to ask.
Yes.
My health is always superb, Mr. Burns.
Superb, yes.
I'll wager that a few men can equal me for sheer animal virility.
Fine. Now, what kind of mail did you bring us?
Just a letter from your wife. Here you are.
Say, this must be a mistake. It's addressed to Gracie Allen, Lonely Hearts, number 23.
It's no mistake, Mr. Burns. She gets lots of those Lonely Heart letters, and sends them, too.
She does?
Yes, a form of innocent amusement, I suppose.
Innocent amusement? Women don't join those clubs unless they're looking for romance.
Gosh, I never thought of that. But now that I look at you more closely...
Never mind. Gee, this is terrible. What about this letter? Should I open it?
I think you've got a right to open it. You're the one who made her lonesome.
Yeah, I'll open it. My darling angel dream girl, I just can't stand it no longer. When I look at the picture you sent me, I tremble so bad that I spill my victuals all over myself. So, honey, I'm coming to take you away. Big Jake, the Lonesome Ranger. Oh, no. I can't believe it. Gracie wouldn't leave me. She's used to me.
Well, I'll be going. Goodbye, Mr. Burns. And remember, keep smiling.
Keep smiling, he says.
Well, George was pretty upset by Big Jake's letter, so now he's on his way to the office of the Lonely Hearts Club to find out if Gracie is really a member.
Good afternoon, Lonely Hearts. Oh, hello, number 39. What, another one? We just got your husband last week. Oh, I see. All right, goodbye.
Is 39 getting rid of her husband already?
Yeah, she used up all his ration points.
Oh, gee, this racing is so confusing. Red stamps, blue stamps. What's it all about?
You're such a dope, Delorma. The blue stamps are for canned goods, and the red stamps are for butter, cheese, cooking fats, and meat.
Meat, huh? You mean with these stamps, I don't have to let the butcher kiss me anymore?
No. Now the government gives you the right to slap his face.
Oh, well, what about all these letters on the stamps?
Well, you see...
I beg your pardon, miss. Is this the Lonely Hearts Club?
Yeah, sit right down, Pop. We'll try to get you a wife. It won't be easy, but we'll try.
Now, wait a minute. I didn't...
We got a new customer, Delorma.
Yeah, ain't he a pip?
I'll say. You better fill out a practically impossible card.
Oh, see here, miss.
Randall, you didn't finish explaining to me about the letters on those red stamps.
Look, miss.
Look, Delorma, each letter stands for a different week. The first week, A's were good. This week, B's are good. Plus any A's you have left over.
Look,
well,
miss.
I get it. And next week, C's are good.
Sure, and whatever A's and B's you got left over.
Look, miss.
Oh, well, that's simple. And then the fourth week, the D's are good. Plus any of the others I've still got, huh?
Yeah, but you better use them up by the end of the fourth week, because after that they're canceled. The fifth week you start with the E stamps.
Oh, well, I give up.
Don't give up, Pop. We'll get your wife. Say, how would you like a nice fat Indian squaw named Princess Moose Jaw?
Look, I don't want any Indians.
Look who's being choosy.
Girls, all I'm interested in is one woman.
Well, at your age, that ought to be plenty.
Do me a favor. Just look up number 23 in your file and tell me who she is.
Okay, Pop. Number 23. Oh, here we are. Say, you really picked one. This is the man-craziest female in the whole club.
She is?
Yeah. Her number ought to be P38. What a pursuit job.
Is her name Gracie?
No, it's Tootsie Sadwell.
Oh, so that's it. Oh, boy. Then my wife does love me. So long, girls.
Gee, Ethel, did you hear that? He's got a wife. Well, she wasn't our client. She can't sue us.
Gracie, suppose Big Jake doesn't like me when he finds out I'm not you.
Well, you've got to make him like you. On the day you meet him, why don't you wear a very short skirt?
Oh, Gracie.
Well, I mean it, Tootsie. Most Western men are bow-legged, and he'll see right away that you and he have something in common. Oh, I'll answer it, Tootsie.
Oh, number 23, my little prairie flower.
My goodness, you must be number 97, Big Jake.
Yeah, I'm Big Jake, all right. Miss Gracie, may I call you Miss Gracie?
Why, certainly, Mr. Big.
Oh, I'm a man of action, Miss Gracie. Come to my big, strong arms.
Oh, please, stop that, Big Jake. You let go of her.
Oh, I beg your pardon, ma'am. I didn't see you. Gosh, I sure didn't mean to hug your daughter right in front of you.
My daughter?
Oh, Tootsie isn't my mother. She's single. She's extremely single.
Yes, and I'm crazy about Westerners.
That's right. Of course, she likes Easterners and Northerners and Southerners, too, but her favorite is a man with wide open spaces.
Well, that's fine, but it's you I came to get, Gracie, honey, and I can't wait no longer. The doggie of desire is a-frisking around in the corral of my heart.
Oh, really? I'll bet it tickles.
Come on, honey. Come on, get your duds packed and let's hit the trail.
Well, Big Jake, you see, I'm not, oh, my goodness, Tootsie, look.
What, Gracie?
Oh, coming up the walk, my HUSDAND.
I know what that was.
You do?
Yep, that was spelling.
Yeah. Big Jake, you better step in the next room.
Oh, what for, honey?
Well, there's a brush salesman coming up the walk, and, well, we're not married yet, and I like to try the brushes on before I buy them.
Yeah, come on, Big Jake.
Oh, thank goodness. Hello, George.
Gracie, I have a confession to make. This morning, I thought you were in love with another man. In fact, I got so upset, I went right out to buy you a box of candy.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Then I discovered it was Tootsie, not you, so naturally I didn't buy the candy.
Oh, naturally, yeah. That's the trouble with you husbands. You never buy candy for your wives unless you're jealous.
Well, that's right.
Oh, Big Jake, come on in, Big Jake. Your little prairie flower is waiting.
Oh, I know you couldn't wait no longer, honey. Come to my big strong arms. Hey, what is this? Let go of her.
George, make it assorted chocolate with plenty of nuts.
Now, look, Jake, I'm telling you for the last time, you can't marry Gracie. She's my wife. But doggone it, I gotta take a gal back home with me. Them there hills are mighty lonely. Well, Tootsie's the girl you've been writing to. Take her. Them there hills ain't that lonely.
But, Jake, beauty is only skin deep, and Tootsie will lose most of hers the first time she rides a horse.
Yes, it's bound to be an improvement. I ain't interested.
Oh, Jake, don't you get tired of looking at the faces of those same old cows every day?
I sure do.
Well, then, Tootsie's just what you need, a new face.
Yes, please marry me, Jake.
Yes, please marry her, Jake.
For Pete's sake, marry her, Jake. No, sir. I ain't going to do it. Jake, if you don't marry Tootsie, you can go to jail. What are you talking about? Breach of promise. We have it in writing that you promised to marry Lonely Heart number 23. Well, that's Tootsie.
Why, George, that's wonderful. Why, you're the smartest man I ever met and married.
Yes, I get an idea every 4 or 5 years.
Well, which will it be, Jake? Either you marry Tootsie or you spend the rest of your life in prison.
Doggone it, that's a mighty tough choice to make.
Well, you won't like prison, Jake. I've seen what it's like in the movies, and it's awful. The only nice thing about it is that Humphrey Bogart is always in the next cell.
You better think it over, Jake.
Yep. Every day they come in and shine lights in your eyes and say, where were you on the night of July 6th? And then they hit you over the head with a blue jacket.
You better think it over, Jake. I ain't going to marry that gal. Keep trying, sweetheart. I'll answer the door. Oh, come on in, Bill.
Oh, what's doing, George?
Well, we're trying to sell a guy on the idea of marrying Tootsie Sagwell.
Oh, well, brother, if you can do that, you can sell soda pop to W.C. Fields.
Say, Bill, maybe you can help.
Yeah?
Tell this fella that you're crazy about Tootsie, and he won't think she's such a mess.
Oh, George, only a heel could do that.
But you'd get rid of Tootsie.
And I'm just the heel who can do it. Come on.
Well, come on.
Tootsie, my darling. They tell me you're leaving me to marry another man. Is this true, my beloved?
Huh?
And this must be the lucky guy. Big Jake. Congratulations, partner.
Now, wait a minute. I ain't planning to marry
now, Jake, you're a Westerner, a rancher, so I'm going to talk your language. Tootsie Sagwell is pure stock.
She is?
Pure stock.
A thoroughbred, huh?
Pure stock.
Yes, sir, a thoroughbred. Why, Jake, I'll put Tootsie up against any horse in your corral. The looks, speed, stamina, appetite.
Bill, please. I feel like I ought to neigh for him.
Big Jake, I can truthfully say that if you marry Tootsie Sagwell, you'll be getting the prettiest, the fairest flower in all the land.
Really?
Absolutely. Because as a wedding present, I'm giving you the Swan Rainbow assortment of gladiolus bulbs. Here's a Swan wrapper and a dime. That's all you need. You see, the Swan people will send this wonderful assortment of 8 gladiolus bulbs, including a special feature bulb called the Swan White, to anyone who sends in a wrapper from any size bar of Swan soap, along with 10 cents, to Gracie Allen, Box 7, New York City.
My, what a pretty name. Say it again, Bill.
Gracie Allen, Box 7, New York City.
Bill, the man wants a wife.
Of course he wants a wife. And that's not all you want, Big Jake. By and by, you'll want some little, growing up around the house, right?
Oh, sure.
Well, plant those bulbs, and soon they'll be growing up. Yes, sir, these gladiolus bulbs are the kind florists use for their choicest cut flowers. And they'll grow into big, satiny blooms of many colors, with as many as 16 flowers to each stem, some of them as large as 4 inches across. That's the kind of flowers you'll have if you marry Tootsie.
Well, Bill, you confuse Jake. He won't know whether to marry Tootsie or plant her.
Oh, marry her, Jake. Marry her, and, well, don't mind these tears in my eyes. The best man won. I loved her, yes, but you loved her more.
Why, Bill, I didn't know you felt that way.
Yes. Oh, well, that's life.
Partner, I want to thank you. If you hadn't spoke your piece, I might have walked out on this little gal.
No.
Yep. But if she meant that much to a good-looking feller like you, she must have hidden charms. Tootsie, let's get hitched. What do you say?
Hallelujah!
You can say that again. You know where we can find a parson, honey?
Do I? I've got a map of the city with everyone marked in case of emergency. Come on!
Yes, take her, Big Jake, and know that with her you take a piece of my heart. Bless you both. I wish you happiness. The happiness I can never know without Tootsie.
Well, goodbye, everybody.
Oh, wait, stop.
What's wrong, Gracie?
Well, you can't do it, Tootsie. You can't marry Big Jake. You're breaking Bill's heart. Bill, you've got to marry her. He loves you, Tootsie.
Gracie, Bill just said that.
I know, I heard him, and it was beautiful.
Oh.
Gracie, I think I'd better go ahead and marry Big Jake. You know what they say about a bird in the hand.
Well, I don't care how much moss is gathered.
Moss? Look, Gracie.
Oh, Tootsie, you just have to marry Bill right away.
Now, wait a minute, Gracie. I'm not in love with Tootsie. I just said that to get Big Jake steamed up.
You did?
Yes.
Well, then I'm calling this deal off. And what's more, I'm a-leaving.
And I'm a-going with you.
And I'm a-going, too.
There he goes, and now I'll never be a prairie flower.
Oh, poor Tootsie. Do you want a handkerchief?
No, I want a man.
Tootsie, if I can think of a way to get you a man, will you stop crying?
Yes.
Well, let me see now. We could... No. Well, why don't we... No, we've tried that. Well, Tootsie, you know something? What? You better stop crying again.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
It's the Amos and Andy Christmas Show, brought to you by Rinso, the only soap that contains sodium. On this Christmas Eve, Reaver Brothers Company, the makers of Rinso with sodium, again brings you the Amos and Andy Christmas Show. And now, here they are with their Christmas cast and Jeff Alexander and his orchestra and chorus, radio's all-time favorites, Amos and Andy.
It's the day before Christmas. Morning crowds are milling about Lenox Avenue in Harlem, doing their last-minute shopping. Andy is out with Amos's little girl, Arbadella, on their annual Christmas tour of the department store windows. Right now, they're looking at a little doll in one of the windows.
Yeah, that sure is a pretty doll, Arbadella.
Yes, that's the one I wrote and asked Santa Claus to bring me. But Daddy said I wrote the letter too late. You see, I only wrote it 2 days ago.
Yeah, well, maybe your papa ain't got the money. That ain't giving Santa Claus much time. You gotta write him before that.
Isn't she pretty, though, Uncle Andy? Daddy said Santa Claus would bring her to me next Christmas.
Oh, sure. You see, that'll give him more time.
We're having a good time today, ain't we, Uncle Andy?
Yeah.
I like being out with you.
Yeah, and I like being out with you, too, Arbadella. But I guess we gotta be getting on home now.
Do you think Mommy and Daddy will be home yet?
Oh, sure. They said they'd be home at noon.
Uncle Andy, let me just look at the doll once more.
Oh, sure, honey.
She's beautiful. She's a talking doll, too.
Yeah, talking doll. They is the best ones, all right.
That sure is a pretty dress she's got on. But when Santa Claus brings her to me next year, I'm going to make her a lot more pretty dresses. Pink ones. I can hardly wait till next Christmas. It's only a year.
Miss Andy, you sure got a lot of Christmas presents here to wrap up.
Yeah, Lightning, I want to get them all wrapped up now, so I ain't got to do it this afternoon or tonight.
Now, what has you got in this box here, Miss Andy?
Well, go ahead, look at it. Just some handkerchiefs that I'm going to give that gal friend of mine, Evelyn Bennett.
Evelyn Bennett?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Miss Andy. These has the letter C embroidered in the corner.
Yeah, well, last year I was going to give them to that gal Carmen that I was going with, but we busted up.
Well, with the letter C on there, I don't see how you can give them to Evelyn Bennett.
Well, I thought of that, too. So for the last 3 days, I've been calling her Cookie.
Look out, Miss Andy. Here comes the Kingfish, Miss Van Porter.
Yeah, come in, fellas, come in.
Well, hello there, Andy. Lightning, Merry Christmas, fellas.
Well, boys, how are you?
Well, see you wrapping all your Christmas presents, Andy. Anytime you want me to turn my back and not look, just say the word.
Yeah, well, I ain't bought you a present, Kingfish.
Oh, you ain't got around to it yet, huh? Well, don't worry about it, Brother Andy. You still got time. You know, me and my wife was talking about the same thing just this morning. She said to me, George, do you think any of your friends is going to give you that bathrobe you got in the corner window at the Globe department store? And I say, honey, you mean the blue one with the red sash, man? She say, yeah, you know, it's marked $3.95. And I say, that's the one, size 40, yeah. Funny thing how me and my wife talks back and forth, ain't it?
Yes, and you could use a new bathrobe, Kingfish. That one you greeted me in yesterday certainly was a mess.
Yeah, it was.
You shook hands with me right through the pocket.
Yeah, by the way, Andy, I just thought of something. Tell me this. How big is that door at your boarding house?
Why?
Well, I'm coming up to see you tomorrow morning with a pretty big package. Well, if I can't get it in there, though, we can always take the door off the hinges and get the thing in there for you.
Yeah. You know, this is kind of embarrassing because I is broke and I can't afford to buy nothing for you.
Nothing at all?
That's right. Say, what time you expect to be up with that big package?
Well, on second thought, I might not be as early as I expected to be.
Well, I'll be there all morning.
Well, don't wait for me, Andy. You see, I got a lot of packages to deliver. I might not get around to you till February or March.
Yeah, I know there'd be something like that.
Miss Andy, I've been trying to wrap one of these packages here. This is a hard one.
My, what in the world is that?
Oh, that's a little toy automobile. I got that for Amos Jr. You wind it up, it scoots around the floor, backs up and everything. Hey, wait a minute, I'll show you.
Well, see that. Mm-hmm. Well, look at that thing go, will you?
Say, that is the cutest thing I'd ever see.
Yeah. You see the way the thing went around the corner there and everything?
Well, look at here, will you? It's even got a license number.
Yeah, let me have it, Henry. I want to shoot it around the floor again myself.
Well, I can wind it myself, Kingfish.
Well, wait a minute. Let me do it, Henry. I asked you for it.
Yes, but I picked it up first.
Well, now, wait a minute here.
Now, don't break it, fellas.
Yeah, well,
don't break
it. Andy, can't I work the thing?
Kingfish, I'm going to work it. Let's not be childish about this.
All right. But I'm next on the thing.
Now, wait a minute. Hold it, fellas. Hold it. I'm going to put it back in the box now before it gets broke. And I got things to do around here, too. You children better run along home now.
Yeah, by the way, you coming over to the gathering at the Lodge Hall this afternoon, ain't you, Andy?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. Looking forward to that thing.
Oh, yeah, you know, all the boys are getting together over there. The Christmas spirit, gonna have refreshments, slap everybody on the back, all that stuff. Have a little present for each member, too.
Yes, the whole gang's going to be there. See you then, Andy.
Well, come on, Henry. Let's go. So long, Andy.
Yes, good day, Andy, my friend. And may the Yuletide season bring you much Noel. And besides that, a very Merry Christmas.
Miss Andy, I was wrapping this package of colored crayons that you bought for Arbadella.
Yeah, wrap that up. This ain't much of a gift to give a kid, is it?
Well, it ain't bad, Miss Andy.
She might not even like crayons. I don't know.
Yeah, but she might and she might not. After all, you don't know what she likes.
The funny part of it is, Lighton, I do know what she likes.
Well, even if you do know, it don't make no difference because you is broke. You ain't got no money to buy nothing more.
Yeah, that's what's troubling me. I is broke. I ain't got a cent. Say, Lighton, what time is it?
Nearly 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Say, wait a minute. I got an idea. I think I'm going to walk down to that department store on the corner. I'll see you later. Did you want to see me? I guess so. Is you the gentleman to do the hiring here for the department store? That's right. My name is Simmons. Yeah, well, I was wondering if you need any extra sales help here for the last-minute rush this afternoon. I would work hard. Well, we did need extra help up until this morning, but I think we can get through the rest of the day with the salespeople we have. Oh, well, thanks just the same, Mr. Thanks. Oh, well, wait just a minute. Oh, yes, sir. Maybe you can do it. What's that? Well, one of our Santa Claus's helpers was called home. His wife was taken ill suddenly, and we could use somebody to take his place. You think you could do it? Be Santa Claus's helper? That's right. Well, I ain't never done it before, but... sure, I can do it. Fine. Now, if you'll come down to the 4th floor, I'll give you your Santa Claus suit and whiskers and tell you just what you're supposed to do. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, Mr. Brown, the Santa Claus suit seems to fit you very well. Yes, sir. That's all right. Here's your seat right here. Yeah. You just have the children to come up one at a time, and if you run into any difficulties of any kind, just call the floor walker. Yes, sir. If I have any trouble, I'll call the floor walker. Well, good luck, Santa. Yeah. Well, I'll get started. All right, Sonny, you was first. Come right up here and sit on Santa Claus's lap. That's the boy. Now, tell Santa Claus, what you want for Christmas?
I want a jet-propelled plane and a tank.
A jet-propelled plane and a tank. What's your name, Sonny?
Oliver Smith.
Yeah, well, Oliver Smith, huh? Is you done been a good boy all year?
Yes.
I could have seen that, but I ain't messing you. Yeah, you is a nice little fella. I bet you drinks up all of your milk at every meal, don't you?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No.
You drink part of it, though, don't you?
No, I don't drink none of it.
None of it, huh?
No, and I ain't never gonna drink none of it either.
Old floor walker. Can you come over here, floor walker?
If Santa Claus brings me the jet plane and the tank, I'll drink my milk.
Never mind, floor walker. That's a good little boy, Oliver. You just hang up your stocking and everything's going to be all right.
Okay, thank you, Santa Claus.
You're welcome.
Am I next?
Yeah, you was next. My, what a nice little girl. Sit right here on my knee. Now tell me, what is your name?
Henrietta Lewis.
Well, that's a pretty name, too. And that's a pretty little dress you got on there, too.
My mother made for me. See the ribbon?
Yeah, that's good, all right. Henrietta, you was one of the sweetest little girls I done ever see. Now tell me, what do you want for Christmas?
A football.
Football?
Yes, and some boxing gloves and a drum.
Boxing gloves and a drum? Well, wait a minute here. What does a little girl like you want with them things?
Oh, I don't want them for myself.
Oh, well, who does you want them for?
My little brother.
Your brother?
You see, he's sick in bed and he couldn't come down here.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
I just wanted to make sure he gets a present.
Well, now, that sure is sweet of you, Henrietta. And I can tell you right now that Santa Claus is going to take care of him.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas, honey. All right, who's next?
Oh, hello, Santa Claus. Hello there, Santa Claus.
Well, Gabby Gibson, what are you doing here in the toy department?
Just came up to get my new girl a present.
In the toy department?
Yeah, she got the mentality of an 8-year-old child.
Oh, listen, Gabby.
But seriously, Andy, I'm just out Christmas shopping.
Yeah, well, look. On that table over there, they got some dolls that when you squeeze them, they say, Mama.
That ain't nothing. I go around with one, and when I squeeze her, she says, lovely, lovely.
Well, who is the next one now?
Hey, quit shoving you. I'm next.
Hey, no fighting there, boys, now. No fighting.
Oh, I tried to push it ahead of me. I'm next. Ain't I, Santa Claus?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, Sonny, sure. What's your name?
Percy Carter.
Percy, huh? And what do you want for Christmas?
A machine gun. Do I get it?
Well, yeah. I'll see what I can do about it and all that stuff.
I want a wad, too, with a picture of Humphrey Bogart in it.
Yeah, well, I'll work on that, too. Who's next?
Oh, wait a minute. I ain't through yet, Santa Claus. I want to ask you something.
Yeah, well, what is it, Percy?
Last year, I asked you for a pair of skates, and I didn't get them. What goes?
Well, you got a lot of other stuff, though, didn't you?
Yeah, a necktie, some socks, and a couple of handkerchiefs. Who wants that stuff?
Yeah, well, better luck this year. All right, who's next?
Wait a minute, I got more stuff there.
Yeah.
Tell me something, Bud. In that workshop up north where Santa Claus makes all his toys.
Yeah, what about it?
What kind of country is that?
Oh, country? Well, it's just nothing but ice and snow and ice, all stuff like that.
No trees and nothing.
No, just ice and snow.
Then where does Santa Claus get the apples and oranges and bananas he puts in the stockings every Christmas?
Well, floor walker. Say, floor walker.
Oh, forget it.
All right. Who's next?
Thanks, I am Santa Claus.
Oh, step right up, Sonny.
Yes, sir.
And what's your name?
Jimmy Watson.
And what
a
is it?
baseball glove, a punching bag, a basketball, a watercolor set, a ring toss, a fountain pen, a Mickey Mouse wristwatch, a cowboy suit, a telegraph set, a bicycle bell, a flashlight, and a baby sister.
You want a baby sister?
Yes. How can I get one?
Oh, floor walker. Well, you look a little worn out, Mr. Brown. Yeah, I is a little tired, all right. I ain't never talked to so many kids in all my life. Gee, they is cute, though.
You did very, very well. All the children seemed very happy, and the parents were just standing there beaming.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We certainly appreciated having you here this afternoon.
Yes, sir. I enjoyed it, too. And, of course, like I told you when I made the deal with you, I done it for a special reason.
Yes. And here it is, Mr. Brown. I had the stock boy take it out of the window. The talking doll.
It's Christmas Eve. Andy has just arrived at Amos's with an armful of packages.
Well, come in, son. You look like Santa Claus with all that stuff.
Yeah, how is it, boy? Boy, that tree looks good. Let me lay these packages down here on the floor.
Yeah, put them down there. You're making the rounds, huh?
Yeah, making the rounds, spreading good cheer. Boy, that is a pretty tree. You got a lot of lights on there, too.
Yeah, well, we just decorated that tonight. Ruben and Mama has gone out to make a few things, take a few things to some poor people that they heard about in town.
Yeah.
They'll be gone about an hour.
Yeah, well, that's good, yeah.
Say, Andy, why wasn't you over with the fellas at the lodge this afternoon? Everybody was looking for you. It was a swell party.
Yeah, well, I must have clean forgot about that. Well, Amos, I'll leave these packages here.
Wait a minute, not all of them.
Yeah. Here's one for Ruby. Here's one for her mama.
Oh, Andy.
Here's one for you. And there's a little toy auto for Amos Jr.
Oh, gee, Andy.
And here's a package for Arbadella. And look here. Be sure and tell her that this one is from Santa Claus.
Gee, that's a nice-looking package there for her, all right.
Oh, just a little something I picked up.
Well, you certainly is Santa Claus this year, boy.
Well, that's nothing. I seen a lot of stuff over at my place from your house.
Well, like I told you, Andy, it ain't much, but we want you to know that we love you and we're thinking about you.
Oh, listen, Amos. I feel better this Christmas than I ever felt. By the way, when are you going to open up your packages?
All the kids get up early, and we all get up and start early Christmas morning. And now, don't forget, you promised that you're going to be here for Christmas dinner.
Oh, yeah. That sure is nice of you, too, because the other two dinners I was figuring on going to didn't work out so good.
Yeah. Well, we want you here, Andy, so count on it now.
Yeah, well, that's swell. Well, I got to get going, son. Got to drop in on 2-3 people, say hello to them.
Well, okay. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, and thanks a lot for the present. It sure was nice of you.
Oh, nothing at all. Say Merry Christmas to Ruby and her mama for me, and the kids.
Yeah, going back with Arbadella now.
Okay, so long, Amos.
So long, Andy. Bring forth the royal diadem and crown him Lord. Well, honey, I see you's right in bed there.
Uh-huh. Daddy, can I turn on the little radio for a minute before I go to sleep?
Well, just for a minute or two, darling. I'll snap it on for you. There he is. Now we let it warm up a few seconds. We don't want to wake up baby.
Oh, music never wakes him up, Daddy.
Well, let me straighten your covers out a little bit. Did you say your prayers, honey?
Mommy heard my prayers before she went out, Daddy.
The Christmas choir continues with the Lord's Prayer.
Well, now get under the covers, honey.
Daddy, could you get some Christmas music on the radio?
Why, darling, this is the very best Christmas music you could get. They're going to sing the Lord's Prayer.
I've been saying the Lord's Prayer with Mommy. She's been teaching it to me.
I know she is.
What does the Lord's Prayer mean, Daddy?
It means an awful lot, and with the world like it is today, it seems to have a bigger meaning than ever before.
But what does the Lord's Prayer mean, Daddy?
The Lord's Prayer? Well, darling, I'll explain it to you.
Oh, will you, Daddy?
Now, you lay down and you listen.
All right.
Now, the first line of the Lord's Prayer is this. Our Father, which art in heaven, that means Father of all that is good, where no wrong can dwell. And then it says, hallowed be thy name. That means, darling, that we should love and respect all that is good.
Oh.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. That means, darling, as we clean our hearts of all hate and selfishness and fill our hearts with love, the good, the true, and the beautiful, and earth will be like heaven.
That would be wonderful, Daddy.
Give us this day our daily bread. That means to feed our hearts and minds with kindness, love, and courage, which will make us strong for our daily task. And after that, the next line says, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. You remember the golden rule, honey?
Yes, Daddy.
Well, that means that we must keep the golden rule and do unto others as we would want others to do unto us.
Oh.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. That means, my darling, to ask God to help us do and see and think right so that we will neither be led or tempted by anything that's bad. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. That means, darling, that all the world and everything that's in it belongs to God's kingdom. Everything. Your mommy, your daddy, your little brother, your grandma, you and everybody. And as we know that and act as if we know it, that, my dear girl, is the real spirit of Christmas.
That's good, Daddy.
Well, now I guess I ought to cut off the radio so you can go to sleep.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, sweetheart.
Daddy, will you leave the radio on while I go to sleep?
All right, I'll leave it on and you can listen to the Christmas music. Well, she's asleep. Merry Christmas, my darling.
now, here again are Amos and Andy.
Friends, on behalf of our sponsors, Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Rinso, and everybody here, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
You know, folks, there's a wonderful thing about this Christmas spirit. It seems to bring people closer together. And it's around this time of the year that we feel particularly close to you folks out there that's been listening to us.
And so, folks, from a couple of very grateful fellas, we sincerely wish you a very Merry Christmas. Good night.
Good night, folks.
When you bake and fry, for your cake and pie, get your shortening by, rely on Fry.
Yes, rely on the Spry way for all your holiday baking and frying, and watch your family beam. Pure all-vegetable Spry shortening just naturally means tender, flaky pastry, lighter, richer flavored cakes, crispy, digestible fried foods. And now, a Merry Christmas to you all from the makers of Spry. S-P-R-Y. Friends, when you're cooking that good turkey or chicken tomorrow, don't forget to save every drop of waste fat. You know, there's a worldwide shortage of the fats and oils needed to make soap, woolens, tires, and hundreds of other things we all want. So please salvage all the waste kitchen fat possible. Keep it in a tin can, and when the can is full, rush it to your meat dealer. He'll pay you substantially more for it now. Remember, your waste kitchen fat is urgently needed. Be sure to be with us next Tuesday at the same time when Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Rinso, will again present the Amos and Andy Show. This is Carlton Cadell saying good night and a Merry Christmas to all of you from all of us.
The Amos and Andy program is rebroadcast to our armed forces all over the world through the facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. When the 4th of July weekend arrived at Madison High Summer School, it was welcomed most enthusiastically by our Miss Brooks, who teaches English there.
I don't know why I looked forward to such a brief holiday with such keen anticipation. I like my work, and I'm very fond of my pupils. Then there's the school principal, Mr. Osgood Conklin. Well, what do you know? I just found out why I look forward to such a brief holiday with such keen anticipation. Mr. Conklin and I never have been what the scientists call chemical affinities. But last week we really reached the ultimate in mutual harassment. I would hesitate to describe Mr. Conklin's temper as volcanic, but by last Thursday I would swear I saw a thin trickle of lava flowing out of his ears. I was telling my landlady, Mrs. Davis, about it Friday morning at breakfast. He hasn't been this irritable since last month when I broke his new glasses.
My goodness, Connie. How did you do that?
It was an accident, Mrs. Davis. They broke when we both bent down at the same time.
You both bent down?
Yes, to pick up a hammer I had dropped on his foot.
Osgood is certainly hard to get along with. Oh, Connie, did you say you wanted tea or coffee this morning?
I said I wanted milk, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, of course you did. I'm getting so absent-minded lately. Almost as bad as my sister Angela.
How is Angela, Mrs. Davis?
Angela?
Your sister.
Oh. She's terribly absent-minded, poor dear. Why, the other morning, do you know what she did?
No, what?
She found herself with one foot in the bathtub and one foot out of the bathtub.
Well, there's nothing absent-minded about that. It happens to most of us, sooner or later.
But Angela couldn't remember whether she was just getting into the tub Oh, Betty, she was just getting out.
Well, that is a dilemma. What did she do?
She let the water out and took a shower. Now, I'd better get you that hot chocolate you wanted.
It's milk, Mrs. Davis, and it's right here on the table. Can I pour some for you?
Oh, no, thanks, Connie. I never drink milk in the morning. It keeps me up all day.
Maybe we should have gone on talking about Mr. Conklin.
Say, that reminds me, Connie. How's Mr. Conklin been treating you lately?
You should have seen him yesterday when I stopped in at his office to get my check.
Was he very disagreeable, Connie?
Not at first. That's what's so confusing. When I sat down to sign for the check, he was extremely civil to me, almost courteous. And then in a few seconds, boom, his whole attitude changed.
But why?
That's what I'd like to know. You think I spilled that bottle of ink on his coat purposely?
Oh, Connie, not a bottle of ink.
I couldn't help it, Mrs. Davis, and I tried my best to get out the spots.
With what?
With spot remover, of course. Or at least I thought it was spot remover. It isn't my fault that Mr. Conklin keeps ammonia in his desk, is it?
Ammonia? But, Connie, ammonia will just burn right through the cloth.
Please, Mrs. Davis, you sound just like Mr. Conklin. But I won't be running into him for the next few days, thank goodness. I'm going away for the July 4th weekend.
But, Connie, can you afford to go away?
On my salary, I can't afford to stay home. But I've made up my mind to do it if I have to go without lunch for a week. And guess where I'm going, Mrs. Davis?
Where?
To Eagle Springs. And guess what bashful scientist is going to get the surprise of his life because he's going there, too, and doesn't know I'm coming?
It's not Mr. Boynton.
It ain't Al Einstein. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mrs. Davis, I'll get ready for school. Walter Denton should be picking me up pretty soon.
Oh, I'm sorry, Connie, but there's something I forgot to tell you. Walter called while you were in the shower and said he can't pick you up this morning.
Oh, great. And my car won't budge.
What's the matter with it, Connie?
I don't know exactly. Last time I went out to the garage to look at it, it was lying on its side, panting.
Walter said he hoped you'd understand, but he had to drive Mr. Conklin to the doctor's this morning.
The doctor's? Why, that's a shame. I wonder what's wrong with poor Mr. Conklin.
Well, Osgood, I can't seem to find anything radically wrong with your physical condition, outside of a slightly elevated blood pressure, that is.
What is my blood pressure, Dr. Haney?
Oh, nothing to worry about, Osgood. Around 180, I'd say. Of course, if it gets to 200, I'd advise you to sell.
If there's one thing I've always wanted, it's a comical physician. Now tell me, Doctor, what's wrong with me?
Well, I can't discover any physical symptoms, Osgood, but there's no doubt about it. Something seems to be troubling you mentally. Now, what is it?
It isn't a what, it's a who. And what a who. Even when we're not together, I can still see her face before me.
But, Osgood, who is this woman?
It's Miss Brooks, Doctor. She teaches English at Madison.
Well, it seems to me, Osgood, that Miss Brooks grates on your nerves so much, you shouldn't let her cross your path. Avoid contact with her whenever possible. As a matter of fact, I recommend that you leave town for a few days.
That's it. I'll do it. I'll go away for the 4th of July weekend. But where?
Oh, it doesn't matter where. Do your world of good to get away for a few days. Say, now, maybe I can help you.
You?
Why, sure. I know the squaw in charge of reservations on the chief.
It will be good to get away.
Miss Brooks, you're just the person I wanted to see.
Good morning, Harriet. What can I do for you?
It's Daddy, Miss Brooks. I'm real worried about him. Last night he cried out in his sleep several times. Mother had to keep waking him up, and once in his sleep he screamed out your name.
My name?
Yes. That's when Mother had to tie him to the bed.
I think I can explain your father's nocturnal penchant for screaming my name, Harriet. We've spent the better part of this week exchanging unpleasantries.
Then Daddy did have words with you?
Harriet, your daddy had words that I wouldn't repeat in front of a sailor.
He was extremely nervous this morning when Walter Denton drove him to the doctor's.
Well, I hope his doctor has a good doctor. Now, if you'll excuse me, Harriet, I'll run along to class.
Just a minute, Miss Brooks. Here's Daddy now.
Oh, good morning, Harriet. Well, the doctor says there's nothing wrong with me physically at all.
I knew it. You look better already.
Thank you, my dear.
Good morning, Mr. Conklin. He just took a turn for the worse.
Good morning, Miss Brooks. So far. I'd better get into my office now. I'll see you later, Harry.
All right, Daddy. But what's the umbrella for?
It looked like rain when I left for the doctor's. Oh, by the way, it's a rather sturdy umbrella, Miss Brooks. Care to whack me over the head with it to start off the day?
Oh, of course not, Mr. Conklin.
You're sure now?
I'll take a rain check. I'm positive. Oh, hold still a minute, Mr. Conklin. There's a thread hanging from the lapel of your coat. I'll pull it out for you.
You needn't bother.
It's no bother. I'll pull it out in just a second. There, that does it. No, there seems to be more. Hold still, please.
I'm waiting, Miss Brooks.
I'm pulling, Mr. Conklin.
His lapel looks all right, Miss Brooks.
Oh, I'm getting it now. This a new suit, Mr. Conklin?
Yes. Yes, it is. No doubt you remember my old suit, Miss Brooks. The one with the ink spots.
Ink spots? How in the world did you get... Oh, that one.
Yes, that one. I thought you'd like to know that I cleaned Walter Denton's windshield with it this morning.
Well, it certainly needed it. I'm sorry about your suit, Mr. Conklin, but... Say, this is funny. There doesn't seem to be any end to this thread.
So I see. Miss Brooks, would you be good enough to give me the ball of thread you're holding in your hand? I'll have another lapel sewn on.
Oh, forgive me, Mr. Conklin. I didn't realize...
My brand new suit. 2 pairs of pants and 1 lapel. Let me in that office immediately, huh? Step aside, Harry.
But, Daddy seems quite annoyed at you this morning, doesn't he, Miss Brooks?
I think so. In fact, there's an old Eskimo saying that describes his feelings toward me perfectly. It goes, Pulikamu Konakrio Exo.
Well, what does that mean?
Baby, it's cold outside.
Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith. Here's wonderful news, ladies. Wonderful, wonderful news. Now there's something thrillingly new in Palmolive Soap's famous Beauty Lather. Yes, something thrillingly new. Palmolive's famous Beauty Lather now brings you new fragrance, new charm, new allure.
Millions of women will prefer Beauty Lather Palmolive over all other leading toilet soaps the minute they try it. For Palmolive Soap's famous Beauty Lather now has a new, clean, flower-fresh fragrance for new allure, new charm.
So, ladies, forget all other beauty care and use Palmolive Soap the way doctors advise for a lovelier complexion. Just stop improper cleansing and instead wash your face with Palmolive Soap 3 times a day, massaging Palmolive's wonderful Beauty Lather onto your skin for 60 seconds each time to get its full beautifying effect. Then rinse. That's all. All types of skin, young, older, oily, respond to it quickly. Don't wait another day to try Palmolive's Beauty Lather. You'll be thrilled by its new fragrance, new charm, new allure. Thrilled again by the fresher, brighter complexion doctors prove may soon be yours.
For new loveliness all over, use big bath-size Palmolive in tub or shower.
Well, I had no further encounters with Mr. Conklin during my first class, and while waiting for another session to begin, I was bolstered by the thought that I'd soon be on my way to Eagle Springs for the 4th of July weekend. While I was marking some composition papers, Walter Denton returned from the errand I'd sent him on.
Excuse me, Miss Brooks, but I'm back.
Did you get me a ticket to Eagle Springs, Walter?
Sure, Miss Brooks. But first I told Mr. Boynton I was going to the railroad station on an errand. And then I volunteered to pick up his ticket to Eagle Springs for him. And when he gave me the money, I just added what you'd given me and bought 2 tickets. Seats 208 and 209 in the parlor car. Right smack up against each other.
Why, Walter Denton, where did you ever get such a diabolical scheme?
From you. Well, don't you remember, Miss Brooks, you laid the whole thing out for me?
Never mind, Walter. Are you sure the seats are together?
Positive. And it was a lucky break I got any seats at all. The trains are sure crowded for this 4th of July weekend. Gosh, the station was alive with travelers.
Those are the best kind. Now, look, Walter. You have got to promise me you won't mention my trip to a soul. I don't want Mr. Boynton to know I'm going to Eagle Springs until he sits down next to me on that train.
You have my word as a gentleman and a scholar.
I've just read your composition. Your word as a gentleman will do.
All kidding aside, Miss Brooks, how'd you like my composition? Great baseball yarn, isn't it?
Frankly, Walter, it's a little hard for me to judge. I know how crazy you are about baseball. I'd like to be fair in marking your composition, but, well, this time you've really got me stumped.
But why?
Maybe it's because the first 6 pages contain nothing but the American League box scores.
I just put that in to make it more dramatic.
Well, some of it is pretty exciting at that. I remember one very eloquent phrase that keeps recurring in the story. Had me right on the edge of my seat. Let me find it. Oh, here it is. Coleman to Sternweiss to Phillips.
That's a famous double play combination. You know, on the Yankees.
Oh, Yankees, of course. The northern team. Well, you'd better be getting on to your next class.
Okay, Miss Brooks. Oh, before I go, is there anything I can do for you while you're out of town?
Yes, Walter. Come to think of it, there is something you can do. You'll probably be seeing a lot of Harriet Conklin over the weekend, won't you?
That's for sure.
Well, you can do me this one big favor. Whenever Mr. Conklin's in the vicinity, please don't mention my name.
When Mr. Conklin's in the vicinity, I'm usually not. He hates me, you know.
You're not the only one. But just don't talk about me when he's around. I'm hoping he'll cool down a bit while I'm away. Oh, there's that pesky fly again. He's been in here all morning.
I'll be darned if I'd hang around summer school all day if I was a fly.
Maybe he needs the credits. Hand me that fly swatter, Walter. Thanks.
Oh, he lit over here on the door, Miss Brooks. I'll open it and let him fly out.
No, don't, Walter. He looks like a germ carrier. I think I've got a good bead on the little pest. Here goes.
Fortunately, I get my glasses wholesale.
Mr. Conklin.
And now that you've warmed up, Miss Brooks, how about trying the umbrella?
It was an accident, Mr. Conklin. Miss Brooks didn't mean to hit you. She was after that other pest. I mean, the fly.
Well, if it isn't Walter Denton. I've hit the jackpot this time.
Oh, please, Mr. Conklin, if you'll just sit down a minute.
Yeah, Mr. Conklin, just have a seat. I'll gather your glasses for you.
Yes. Oh, Denton.
Yes, sir?
Get out!
Yes, sir.
Miss Brooks, the reason I came in here was to inform you, as I have the other members of the faculty, that I'm going away for a while.
Away? For how long, Mr. Conklin?
Well, this morning I planned on staying away for just 3 days. But then, when you siphoned off one of my lapels, I decided to make it 4 or 5. And just now, when you flogged me with that fly swatter, I realized I'll need at least a week.
Mr. Conklin, I won't deny that a series of extremely unfortunate incidents have occurred.
How very broad-minded of you. Well, there won't be any more of them for me, at least not for the next week. I always thought I was a man of more than average courage, Miss Brooks, but I've discovered recently that I'm not.
Please, Mr.
Conklin. It's true. I am a coward, Miss Brooks. But be that as it may, I am determined to live long enough to be an old coward. Hence, I am about to flee the city.
But where are you going, Mr. Conklin?
I don't know yet. I've called the railroad station, but their trains are all jammed with 4th of July weekenders. However...
Yes, I know. It's very crowded on almost all the trains.
I haven't finished talking, Miss Brooks. I was about to say, however, I'm going to try the airport this afternoon. Maybe I can get a plane for somewhere. Oh, that's a very annoying fly.
Oh, I've got the swatter, Mr. Conklin. I'll get it this time. You just sit still.
No, I'll get out of this seat if you don't mind. All right.
You got us, Mr. Conklin.
As I was saying, Miss Brooks, I'll go to the airport. And if I can't get a plane from somewhere, I may fly somewhere without a plane!
And so, class, it only requires a little concentration to avoid embarrassing mistakes in conversation. We'll take up next the works of Lord Byron. That's all for now. Class dismissed, and have a nice weekend.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Brooks. Could I see you for a minute?
Why, Mr. Boynton, you may see me for longer than that. Come in, won't you?
I just wanted to say goodbye, Miss Brooks.
Oh? Going somewhere?
Yes. Walter Denton just got me a ticket on the 4:15 to Eagle Springs. I'm going to spend the 4th of July weekend up there.
How nice for you, Mr. Boynton. It should do you a world of good.
Miss, I really need the rest. I've been working pretty hard lately. Still, I want you to know I'll miss our regular Friday afternoon date, Miss Brooks.
I don't see why. That was a pretty tiresome crowd we were running around with.
Miss Brooks, we went to the zoo on Fridays.
That's what I mean. Every week, the same old hairy faces.
Well, it does a man good to get away from town every so often. Gives him a chance to think things out. Commune with nature, as it were. You know, I like to get next to Mother Nature once in a while.
Now, isn't that funny? I feel the same way about Father Nature. That is, I'm sure you'll have a lovely time, Mr. Boynton.
I knew you'd understand, Miss Brooks. Walter got me a seat in the parlor car. They usually come in twos, you know.
Do they?
Yes, I hope someone nice sits next to me. It's quite a long trip, and a friendly traveling companion can make the time pass much more pleasantly.
I'm sure you'll draw the doll of the world.
No, not me. Just my luck. I'll probably wind up alongside some big fat dunce.
Do you know it? I mean, it's silly to even speculate about your train partner, Mr. Boynton. Forget it for now.
Well, if only he has a good sense of humor. I remember the last trip I took to New York. On my way back, I sat right next to George S. Kaufman, the famous playwright.
Really? How was his sense of humor?
You'd be surprised. It wasn't so good. I told him one of my best gags, too. You know the one where I make my shoes squeak on purpose? Well, when Kaufman asked me if they were new shoes, I said, shoes nothing. Those are my Blue Jay corn plasters chirping. Now, you know that's funny.
It's a scream. How did Mr. Kaufman react?
He took 2 Alka-Seltzers and went to sleep.
Probably jealous because he didn't make it up.
Well, I guess I better be leaving now, Miss Brooks. I've still got to say goodbye to Mr. Conklin.
Well, whatever you do, don't mention my name to him. This is one of my bad days.
Miss Brooks, you shouldn't fight with Mr. Conklin.
I'm not fighting with him, Mr. Boynton. Why, Mr. Conklin would be the first to admit that we'd get along splendidly together if it weren't for just one thing.
What's that?
Me.
Come in.
Oh, I just dropped in to say goodbye, Mr. Conklin.
Oh, sit down a minute, Boynton. I'm just getting some information from the Travel Bureau. What did you say the name of that train was again? The Snake Eyes Limited? No, I'm afraid I don't care to go as far as Las Vegas. Goodbye. Now then, you were saying?
Just goodbye, Mr. Conklin. I'm going up to Eagle Springs for the weekend.
Eagle Springs? But you won't be able to get a train ticket. I've tried every which way to get out of this town. It's just impossible.
Oh, not for me, it isn't. I've got my ticket right here. Seat 209 in the parlor car on the 4:15.
Let's see that ticket, Boynton. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll be running along now, if you don't mind.
Just a moment, Boynton. Boynton, I've always looked upon you as one of the outstanding members of Madison's faculty. Not just as a teacher, mind, although you're one of the best.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Conklin.
But also as a human being. You, Boynton, are the type of chap who would never let anyone down.
Oh, gosh, Mr. Conklin.
That's why I know you'll sell me that ticket and postpone your own vacation.
Postpone it, but Mr. Conklin, I can't.
Can't? In the vocabulary of a Madison High School teacher, there is no such word as can't.
Well, then I won't. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I've worked very hard for this vacation,
Of course you have, my boy. It was selfish of me to even suggest that you give me your ticket on the train. The fact that I'm on the verge of complete mental breakdown should not sway you in the slightest.
Mental breakdown? Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Conklin.
Oh, chin up, boy. Wipe that frown from your face. You should be smiling. You're going on a trip. A happy, carefree trip. Forget about me trembling in my stuffy little office. You're on the train, boy. I can see you now. Sitting there in that plush parlor car, the sun streaming through the windows. What's this? Conductor's approaching. Tickets? Tickets, please. Where's your ticket?
Here it is.
Thanks, Boynton. I knew you'd come through.
Here you are, miss. Seat 208.
Thank you.
Now, this bag belongs to the gentleman in the next seat. He went back to the smoking car just before we pulled out.
Oh, that's perfect. Now I can really surprise him.
Oh, do you know him?
Not as well as I'm going to. That is, we've never been on a vacation together before.
Oh, that's the fellow coming down the aisle there. Oh, yes. He's got adhesive tape on his glasses.
What? Are you sure that's the man who has seat 209?
I'm positive. I parked him here myself.
Oh. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to face the window before he sits down.
What for?
If he sees me before he sits down, he'll fall down.
Oh, I get it. It's a rib. Tickets.
205, 207. Ah, here we are, 209. Hi-ho, to Eagle Springs we go. Well, I have a traveling companion. I don't blame you for gazing out the window. Lovely scenery, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like taking a little trip, eh?
Mm-mm.
I don't mind telling you, I was a candidate for the Mayo Clinic before I got on this train. But it's going to be different now. Hi-ho, to Eagle Springs we go, and as we go I sing, oh, Hey, look at the sun coming from behind that cloud.
Hmm?
Shining on the window that way, it's beginning to reflect your features. Eh? Yes? There are your eyes. Nice eyes. There's your nose. Pretty nose. There's your mouth, your chin. Put them all together, and they add up.
Hi-ho, hi-ho, to the Mayo Clinic we go.
Returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, yes, tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Luster Cream, world's finest shampoo. No other shampoo in the world gives you K-Dumit's magic blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Not a soap, not a liquid. Luster Cream shampoo leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Even in hardest water, Luster Cream lathers instantly. No special rinse needed after a Luster Cream shampoo. So gentle, Luster Cream is wonderful even for children's hair. Tonight, yes, tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, after I found out the identity of Mr. Boynton's summer replacement on the train, I altered my plans for the weekend. Computing the wind velocity and the rate of speed at which we were traveling, I decided not to get off until the first stop. Then I took the next train back to town. And when I arrived at the depot, I ran right into Walter Denton.
Miss Brooks, what are you doing here? You should be halfway to Eagle Springs by now.
I was, Walter, but I found out that Mr. Boynton isn't going, and I couldn't bear the thought of letting him spend the weekend alone.
Alone? But, Miss Brooks, Mr. Boynton got a last-minute cancellation and left for Eagle Springs 5 minutes ago.
What?
Sure, I drove him down.
Oh, great. Well, there's only one way I can celebrate the holiday now. I'll make an anonymous call to Mr. Conklin on Monday.
An anonymous call?
Yes, Walter. That's the 4th of July, and I'm really going to shoot off my mouth.
Next week, tune in to another Amos Brooks Show, brought to you by Palmolive Soap, Your Beauty Hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written and directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch. Here's a money-saving offer, men. A giant tube and a large tube of Palmolive brushless shaving cream for 49 cents. Yes, a 70-cent value for only 49 cents. This offer is made solely to prove you, too, can get smoother, more comfortable shaves the Palmolive brushless way. Just follow directions on the tube and treat your face to wonderful shaves. Yes, for extra shaving comfort at extra low cost,
Don't miss this Palmolive brushless bargain. At drug and toilet goods counters, get both giant and large size Palmolive brushless. A 70-cent value for only 49 cents.
Last year, forest fires laid waste 30 million acres of America's timberland. This year, only you can keep it from happening again. So when you or your family are camping, motoring in, or even near a forest area, remember these 4 rules. 1, crush out, completely out, all cigarette, cigar, and pipe ashes. 2, break matches in 2 after using. 3, drown all campfires, then stir and drown again. 4, before going near timber, ask fire authorities where campfires or even smoking are permitted. Remember, another 30 million acres will burn this year unless you are careful. For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, the exciting, fun-packed adventures of an amateur detective and his beautiful wife. Tune in Tuesday evening over most of these same stations. And be with us again at the same time next week for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
WEAF, New York, 8:30 p.m., BULOVA, Bulova Watch Time, Bulova, at better jewelers everywhere.
A pack of Avalon cigarettes, please.
Yes, sir. Just a moment, sir. Don't forget your change. You'd never guess that Avalon's cost you less.
So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Good evening, friends. Good evening. This is Del King saying welcome to Avalon Time with Dick Todd, Edna Stillwell, Bud Hercules Vandover, Marlon Hurt, the Avalon Chorus, Bob Strong and his orchestra, and radio's red-headed ragamuffin, Richard Red Skelton. The orchestra opens the program with an apple for the teacher. Pay more for your cigarettes when you can get highest quality in Avalons for 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. Why not take advantage of that saving, a saving that amounts to many, many extra dollars every year? But without knowing, you'd never guess Avalons cost you less. They're highest quality through and through. Give Avalons a trial tonight. And now we bring you Headline Hokum, all the news that gives us fits to print. As edited by our red-headed, streamlined raving reporter, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And now for the news. San Francisco, California. At the World's Fair, a man demands his money back after seeing Sally Rand's nude ranch. Must have been a window washer. Two girls compete for the milking championship of the world. A California girl wins by using a new system called a four-in-hand. Washington, D.C., astronomer discovers a spot on the sun. Boy, those California grapefruits sure squirt, don't they? Portland, Oregon. A man arrested for having 6 wives. He told the police he didn't have anything to say. 6 wives, how could he? Chicago, Illinois. The American Legion Convention's over, and the Chicago city government extends a vote of thanks to the Legion pranksters for straightening out the loop. Ann Sheridan left town. Chicago suffers a cold spell now. South Bend, Indiana. College student holds his breath for 3 minutes and 29 seconds. That's nothing. Since I've been on this program, I've been holding my breath for 49 weeks. New York City, New York, at the Yankee Stadium. The strangest sight this week is to see Senator Dies at the World Series cheering wildly for the Reds. You never know what's going to happen in baseball. Last spring, Gabby Hartnett went to a fortune teller to see who'd win the National League pennant. So she went in a trance and she said, "Come forth, winners of the National League pennant. Come forth." And the Chicago Cubs came forth. I used to be a terrific baseball player myself. I used to play with the Vincennes Ickies. Boy, what a team. We didn't have a dugout. Between innings, we'd rest in an oxygen tank. It was a team of bloomer girls. I had a chance to go with the New York Yankees, but I refused to cut my curls. Just to be a bat boy. But that takes care of the news tonight, so I'll step aside while Dick Todd vocalizes will sing Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then, oh, why can't I? Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I?
Boy, that was really something. That was Over the Rainbow, sung by our new glamour boy, Dick.
One more Dick and I'll be Detective Squad.
That's it, Dick Squad.
Listen, right about last week when I called you jerk and everything, I wish I could take back those nasty things I said about you.
Do you really, Dick?
Yeah. I'd like to say them all over again.
That was Dick Todd, folks, better known as Not the Hot Toddy.
Well, Red, you better be careful. Remember, Dick's the sponsor's pet.
I thought I noticed a pet shop air about him. But anyway, I don't believe he knows the sponsor so well.
Well, maybe not, but when we passed the sponsor on the street the other day, Dick said, "Hiya, Stinky."
He wouldn't dare. Besides, I stand in pretty good myself. Mr. Avalon knows when funnier jokes are told, Skelton will tell them.
Sure, a week after Fred Allen.
Yeah. Another insult. I'm sorry I ever learned to talk.
You're sorry. How do you think the audience feels?
Yeah. Say, what is this? All you people becoming members of the Ways to Be Mean Committee? Now, listen, Ed, I send a letter to Mr. Avalon, and who knows if I get an answer today?
Yes.
Maybe out of work tomorrow. But I'm not going to worry about it. I'm having too much trouble moving.
Moving?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. My uncle and I are moving to roomier quarters.
What's roomier than Lincoln Park?
Yeah. We are not living in Lincoln Park this season. I'm living in a very swanky French apartment house, the Lauze Manor.
When are you moving in, Red?
You've been standing around here all this time just to say that one line. Well, you were standing there. I was going to ask you, who did your embalming? Say, would you fling that juicy line at me again, please?
When are you moving, Red?
Oh, a southern accent now. Putting a little southern drawl there, huh?
Yeah, it looked like a Mason-Dixon line to me.
Yeah. Wait a minute now. Oh, that's what you call taking nothing and making something. Well, anyhow, we're moving right now. 4 men are carrying out my stuff. 2 of them are carrying out the furniture, and 2 of them are carrying out my uncle. I'll take it. Hello, Avalon program. Red Skelton speaking.
This is the landlord at the Lauze Manor Apartments. Are you moving away from my apartment house?
Yes, sir.
Thanks very much.
Oh, I know why he said that. He's got a grudge. The day he showed us the furnished apartment, 3 Pekingese were crawling over the bed, see? My uncle's nearsighted, and he says, "Good gosh, get the exterminator and Ripley."
Say, Red, I've got a good name for this Wednesday night program.
Oh, tell me about it later. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce a new feature on Avalon Time. In keeping with the season, we're going to give you the latest football dope.
You're talking about me, Mr. Skittling?
Yeah. That's right, and here he is, folks, the All-American swayback, Mickey Appolis. He's the brother of Minneapolis. Or is it Annapolis?
Oh, no, not Annapolis. That's what everybody's singing about, you know. Annapolis for the teachers.
Appolis, tell us something about football, will you?
Oh, football? Step on the side cell of the microphone, please. And listen to the great All-American three-quarters back.
Three-quarters back? I thought you were a fullback.
Well, at those times, I was one of the dead-end kids. Oh. How could I forget the time we were playing Notre Dame in the Billy Rose Bowl? During the first half of the game, I'm suffering with athlete's foot. They're stepping so much in my face.
Yeah. Somebody ought to yell roast beef on Ryan and get that guy out of here. Well, tell us, what was the biggest thrill in the game?
Well, the time it was when only 10 seconds to play.
Yeah.
The central passes the ball.
Yeah.
I dive through the line.
I see.
Straight arming the guards and ticklers.
Yes.
Suddenly, I'm in the clearing.
Yeah.
I pass the 40-yard line.
40-yard line.
The 40.
30.
The 20.
20.
The 10.
10.
Cross the goal.
Cross the goal.
Too bad I didn't have the ball.
Yes, it was.
Goodbye, Mr. Skilling. I have to intercept the pass to Memphis.
Yeah. Well, next week, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have...
Skelton.
Yeah.
There's a man outside, and he wants $5 for moving your stuff.
Oh, gee, I forgot all about that. I haven't got any money on me. Say, who can I put the bite on for $5? Boy, did they clear out of here fast. Everything seems to be touch and go. I don't... Oh, Bob Strong's still here. Say, Bob, hi, old pal.
Okay.
Did you lend me $5?
Oh, I'm sorry, Red. I haven't a cent with me.
And at home?
Oh, they're all fine, thank you.
Yeah. Well, it looks like I'm there. Well, I bet that's that moving man. Come in. Well, look, fella, I tried to get the... Well, are you the moving man?
Well, I ain't a Green Bay Packer.
Hercules, the crash and carry man.
Oh, heavens, yes, Mr. Skelton. I work for the firm of Jitterbug and Susie Q Trucking. Our motto is, when we move all over.
You don't look husky enough to be a moving man, Herky.
Well, why not? I'm just bulging with muscle.
I don't see any muscles bulging.
Well, can I help it if they bulge inward? Here, you just take a look at my chest.
It looks like a wart on a rubber band. Chest, you call that a chest?
Oh, good heavens, did that slip down again?
I bet you can't lift anything heavier than a toy balloon.
Oh, can't I? There was a grand piano to be moved, and just imagine me putting it right on my back and marching up 3 flights of stairs with it. Just imagine.
You did that, Becky?
No, but just imagine it.
I thought so. Say, what did you lift in my place?
Well, confidentially, Mr. Skelton, after seeing the condition of your apartment, the first thing I lifted was an eyebrow.
Well, we won't go into that now, Herky. Look, I'm shy $5 on the bill.
Oh, don't worry about it. There's no use for both of us to worry. And I refuse to stand here all day over a hot argument. I gotta go now because there's a lot of moving to be done. Heave no silverware away.
Well, that's that good old
Say,
Herky.
Red,
Yes.
about the name I've got for the show.
Oh, yes, Edna. What is it?
Well, folks used to go to the movies on Wednesday for bank night.
That's right.
But now that you're on the air, they can stay home and call it bunk night.
That's good. Play some music, will you, Bob?
Last week, Avalon Time introduced the 4 Pups. Here they are again, going to town on I Never Knew.
I never knew that roses grew, or if skies were blue or gray. I never knew when breezes blew what a summer breeze could do to me. I never knew that all my dreams came true and took your cares away, 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 away. I never knew what love could do until I met you today. I never knew that my dreams would all come true. My dreams would all come true when we meet. I never knew that the summer breezes blew. My life was fair until I met you. It seems I never knew when my dreams came true. My dreams came true and took my cares away, my cares away. I never knew that my dreams came true, or what love could do to me, my sweetheart.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear what the Swiss Alpine climber said about Avalon cigarettes? Well, he said, I smoke Avalon cigarettes.
I smoke Avalon cigarettes.
You'd never guess they cost you less.
You'd never guess they cost you less.
I save money with Avalon.
You said it, mister.
Yes, and everyone can save plenty of money with Avalon. They cost 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. And still, they're guaranteed positively highest quality. Give Avalon's a trial tonight. Avalon Time again takes pleasure in presenting Dick Todd and the Avalon Chorus in one of the greatest of the Western songs, The Last Roundup.
I'm heading for the last roundup. Gonna saddle old Payne for the last time and ride. The last time and ride. So doggy, get along.
Get along, little doggy, get along, get along.
Get along, little doggy, get along. I'm heading for the last roundup. To the faraway ranch of the boss in the sky.
The boss in the sky.
Where the strays are counted and branded, there go I'm heading for the last roundup.
Get along, little doggy, get along, get along.
I'm heading for the last roundup.
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to our Slice of Life, a short playlet about things that happen in everyday life. And I'm sure this one has happened to someone that you know.
What's it about tonight, Skelton?
Well, tonight's short playlet is about a young married couple who are financially embarrassed. That's a novelty. You set the scene, Del.
Okay, the time, payday. The place, somewhere in your hometown. Edna Stillwell plays the part of the young housewife, and Red Skelton fits in nicely as the stale breadwinner. As the scene opens, she is waiting for him to come home with his very weekly paycheck. Listen.
Well, I thought you'd never get home.
I'm like the Cicero bus. I don't care whether I make it or not. Besides, I had to stop at the pool room and get my check cashed. Here's the money. I'll take a short walk while you count it.
You stay right here. Yeah. Now, let me see. 80, 85, 90. Say, don't you make $20 a week?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, there's only $19.90 here. What happened to that other 10 cents?
Oh, the dime? Well, I bought 2 packs of chewing gum with 1 nickel. It was a sale.
What about the other nickel?
Well, the boss docked me a nickel. He took it out of my salary.
The boss docked you a nickel?
Yeah.
What for?
Well, yesterday I got thirsty, and by mistake, I used his Dixie cup.
Oh, yeah? I'll bet you've been to a nightclub with some other woman.
Now, listen, the only thing you can get at a nightclub with 10 cents would be dishwater hands.
Well, this squandering has got to stop. Don't you ever think of me.
Oh, now, why don't you stop? You talk like you haven't any clothes or anything.
Oh, I haven't any kick about the clothes you buy me. Yeah. But it is a little embarrassing riding on a streetcar in a sarong. Yeah. And listen.
Yeah, I know just what you're going to say. Mr. Krabby Puss from the Misfit Clothing Store was here about the stuff I bought on credit.
Yeah. Yes. He left just before you came in. But how'd you know?
Well, when I was coming up the walk, I heard something inside the house, and I figured it was either him or Custer's last stand.
Well, he sure was mad. Did you see him leave the house?
Yeah, I thought he was flying pretty low. But this is the end. That's the straw that broke the Avalon's back. I'll never buy anything on credit from that firm again.
You're telling him.
Yeah. Gee, it seems like we owe everybody, don't it? So you think it'll be all right if I smoke my after-dinner cigarette now?
No, I don't see how you can.
Why?
The payment's due on the electric ice box.
Yeah, that's right. Gee, I'm sorry I bought that box. I buy electric ice box to keep the Iceman away, and now he delivers bread.
Did you fix the car?
How can I fix it? It costs $3 to fix that car, and that ain't 10.
Well, if it ain't, why do you always crank it with a can opener?
Yeah.
Now, let's quit gabbing. I'll fix the dinner.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have steak.
You think?
Yeah, if my horse comes in.
Yeah. Well, a fine thing. Here I am down to my last bottle of wine tonic. And here I'm throwing money away on those hay burners.
Listen, soapbox. If you'll only stop yelling, I'll tell you something.
It better be good and in my favor.
Well, I've got an idea how we can get some money to pay our bills.
No. I ain't going to be a bootlegger again. No.
Oh, take it easy. Keep your tattletale gray on. Just look at this advertisement. Look, here in the morning paper.
Yeah.
It says,
Do you need money?
Yeah.
If so, come and see us. No references, no co-signers, just
a personal letter from the president in your right eye.
No, silly, just your signature.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, open Saturdays and Sundays. Whoa, let's get a helping of that. Come on, let's go. We'll borrow enough money to pay everybody off, and that way we'll only owe the finance company. It's a good idea, huh? I'm smart, boy. That's what you call high finance.
Yeah, for lowbrow.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
See, I've never been in this building before. I wonder where that try and get it loan company is. Oh, this is it right here.
Now, look, when we get inside, you let me do the talking.
Okay.
Step right in. Be careful, don't break the web.
Are you the man that...
Yes, I'm the man in charge of the loan department. Been in charge for 60 years. Oh, tut, now, don't stop me. I know I don't look that old. I look so young because I live a good, clean life up to the age of 6. How much?
Well, $200.
What have we got for security? That's paid for.
Well, I've got my wedding ring.
Where is it?
On the finger that's turning green.
Well, who've you got the active co-signer?
Hey, wait a minute. The ad in the paper says money loaned on your signature only.
That's right. Yes, that's right. And which one are you, Morgan or Rockefeller?
Let's see.
But you look like honest kids now, and I'm going to give you the money. $200, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, all you have to do is pay me $8 a week for a year.
Okay.
$8 a week? Why, that's over $400.
Yeah, it's over $400.
Oh, that's all right. I'm satisfied with my 1%. Now you just sign this legal paper.
Oh, legal, eh? You mind if I take a look at it? You know, I work for the law firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh.
What is it, Richard?
Oh, it's nothing important. He's just betting 2-1 that we can't pay.
Avalon cigarettes cost 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. But you positively could not get finer quality tobaccos in any other cigarette, regardless of price, regardless of brand. Try Avalon's just once. That trial will tell you more in 1,000 words from me. Well, it will prove to you that Avalons have unsurpassed quality. Get a pack of Avalon cigarettes tonight.
Well, Dell, I guess they're all set to hickory-dickory dockers.
Yeah, any minute we'll be getting our weekly layoff.
Yeah, look, Dell, I got a date tonight. Could you loan me $5?
Well, what security have you?
The word of a gentleman.
Okay, but first bring the gentleman around.
Okay. Oh, what's the use? Good night, everybody. I'll see you next week. Goodbye now.
Remember, friends, during the week when you ask for Avalon cigarettes,
don't forget your change.
Oh, why not always travel on with Avalon?
you'd never guess that Avalon's cost only 10 cents plus city or state tax. Well, friends, we hope you've enjoyed our show, and be with us next Wednesday night at this same hour when the Brown & Williamson Tobacco Corporation again presents Red Skelton, Dick Todd, Edna Stillwell, and the entire gang in Avalon time. This is Del King saying good night.
A special announcement for pipe smokers. Men, try Sir Walter Raleigh, the quality pipe tobacco of America. Sir Walter Raleigh is the unanimous choice of millions of hard-to-please smokers everywhere. It's the largest selling pipe tobacco in the Army, in the Navy, on American college campuses. Yes, everywhere you find men who know and appreciate quality smoking. If you want the very best possible smoke your pipe can give you, try Sir Walter Raleigh.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Life of Riley, starring William Bendix as Riley. Jester A. Riley, as a youth, was a tireless seeker after culture. In fact, Riley spent some of the best years of his life in this pursuit, all of them in the 6th grade. And now, although Riley is a grown man and the father of 2 children, this hunger for knowledge still persists.
Peg, what time is it?
Almost 9:30. Why do you keep asking the time?
Well, I don't want to miss this program on the radio. It goes on at 1:30.
Oh, you and that radio. I like the radio, but not 24 hours a day.
Well, what else is there to do?
Well, you might try reading a book. You haven't looked at one in years.
That ain't so. I read plenty of books.
Well, what was the last book you read?
Well,
You see, you can't remember.
I can so. I don't remember the title, but I know the story perfect. It was about some bears and a blonde dame named Goldie something.
Goldilocks and the 3 bears. I meant a book you read as an adult.
I was an adult. I only read it last year.
But that's a book for babies.
Well, I started it as a baby, but I didn't finish it until last year. I'm a slow reader.
Oh, there's so many fine books for a grown man to read. Why don't you try to improve your mind, dear, with something educational?
Well, I am trying. That's why I listen to the radio. I don't get trash, you know.
Oh, well, that's different.
Other people may listen to junk, but not me. This is real educational stuff.
Oh, what program?
It's the, it must be on now. Wait, you'll hear. You can learn plenty listening to this.
That's right. It's here again. It's time for the Crackpot Jackpot. Brought to you by the makers of Snappies, America's favorite breakfast cereal. Snappies is no ordinary cereal. Scientific tests prove it. When you pour milk over other cereals, they merely crackle. Listen. But when you pour milk over Snappies, you get action. Tomorrow morning, wake your tummy up with Snappies. Yes, try Snappies and start the day off with a bang.
Very educational, if you're a moron.
Wait a minute. It ain't started yet, kid.
And now, all you kids out there from 8 to 80, get set and try to crack the Crackpot Jackpot. And while our operator is placing our first call, I want to tell you late tuner inners that no one has answered the jackpot question for 3 whole weeks. So tonight, it's reached the grand total of $30,000, plus a big free box of Snappies.
Boy, Peg, did you hear that? 30,000.
It's not enough if you have to eat that cereal.
And now I think we're ready for our first call. Mr. Howard Christie in Hogan's Corners, North Dakota. Hello, Mr. Howard Christie. You sound breathless, sir. Oh, you were out in the barn milking your cow? More power to you, sir. Ready for our jackpot question? All right, here it is. What is an aardvark? You have 15 seconds.
Oh, what a cinch. 30 grand just for knowing a simple thing like what is a yard mark. What's ignorance?
Oh, look who's talking. You can't even pronounce it. It's aardvark.
Huh? 10 seconds, Mr. Christie.
The poor sap don't know. I bet he's dying. I bet he could take poison. I bet he could throw himself out of the window. Ain't this program fun, Peg?
Yes, hilarious.
All right, Mr. Christie, your time's just about up. This is your last chance. What is an aardvark? What's that? I didn't quite get that, Mr. Christie. What? You say it is... You're wrong. I'm sorry, but...
Hey, what did you turn that off for?
Oh, I had enough of that. It's a waste of electricity.
Oh, I could listen all night. Can you imagine that poor sap? 30 grand. Down the drain. He'll hate himself the rest of his life. His wife will hate him. His kids will hate him. His grandchildren will hate him.
That's what I like about this program. It's a real family show.
Yeah, sure.
Honest, Riley, don't you think you might be occupying your time with something a little better than that crackpot jackpot? After all, you got a daughter going to college now. She brings friends home. You ought to keep up to date so you can discuss things with them.
Well, I do discuss things with them. Didn't you hear me the last time the girls in Babs' club met here? I talked plenty.
Oh, and a fine subject you picked. You went on all evening long about your tonsil operations.
Well, what's so terrible? Is that bad manners?
Oh, no, of course not. It's perfect etiquette. I'm sure Emily Post would approve. Especially when you brought your tonsils out in that bottle and showed them to her.
Well, they were very impressed. And Babs was proud of me. After all, it ain't every girl has a father with 3 tonsils. Peg. Hello, Bessie.
Hello, Daddy. Well, what do you got in that package there, dear?
Oh, it's a little surprise I bought for Babs' club meeting tomorrow night. You know, to dress up the living room.
Oh, but Daddy,
Look, fancy ashtrays.
Oh, that was thoughtful of you, dear. We're always losing ashtrays.
We won't lose these. Look what's printed on them.
Oh, Riley, how could you? Oh, what does it say, Mother? Stolen from the Rileys. They're in such bad taste.
Oh, I thought they were cute. Give the girls a laugh. I know I get a laugh every time I look at that ashtray I have in my room that says stolen from the Gillises. I'm sure your girl says...
Well, it really doesn't matter. They're not meeting here tomorrow anyway. I forgot to tell you.
But it's your turn, Babs. Well, why aren't they?
Riley, suppose we let Babs handle her own affairs.
I agree. But why don't they come here like last time?
Well, the last meeting wasn't very successful, so I suggested we all meet at Helene Bidwell.
Oh, but you're wrong. It was a great success. I had a wonderful time. I was... Oh, I get it. It's account of me. You don't want your fancy college friends to meet me.
Oh, Daddy, that's ridiculous.
It's true. You said so just before. You said I taste bad.
You're being very silly.
It has nothing to do with you, Daddy. It's the house. There are too many girls and the house is too small.
Small? You call this house small? The trouble with you kids is you're spoiled. You should have seen the place your mother and me lived in when we first got married. We had one tiny room. At night, if I stretched out in bed, my feet would hang out the window. Every morning at 5 o'clock sharp, the milkman's horse would lick them. Here I slave and sacrifice, and you're ashamed of your own home.
All right, Daddy. My goodness, if I'd known you were going to make such a fuss. I'll call Helene and change the meeting back to here.
No, that's more like it. And the next time, before you complain about your home, read that sign that's hanging on the wall over the mantelpiece. Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. You know why I hung that there, don't you?
Yes, to hide the ink stain you made.
Hey.
Hi there, Ronnie.
Oh, hello, Gillis.
Hey, why are you so red in the face,
I
Ronnie?
just gave Babs a good bawling out. I bought a little something to dress up the house, and you know what she said?
How should I know? I ain't the kind of a guy goes around snooping, eavesdropping on his next-door neighbor.
No, she said I have bad taste. Boy, I told her off plenty.
You were right. And by the way, how about giving back that ashtray you stole from me?
Gillis, you heard.
Accidental.
Imagine changing the meeting because she's ashamed of the house. Why,
Riley, it ain't the house.
But she said it.
She wouldn't tell you the truth. Babs is ashamed of you.
Oh, no, Gillis, no.
Face the facts, Riley. Ain't I always told you the truth? Who told you you had borderline anemia? I did. When your shakes had tattletale gray, who tattled? I did. And now I'm doing you another favor. I'm telling you your daughter is ashamed of your ignorance.
Well, thanks. You're sweet to me, Gillis, but, gee, I just can't believe it. I ain't that ignorant.
Oh, no? What do you know what's going on in the world? For instance, what do you know about Berlin?
Greatest songwriter in the world. Always, I'll be loving you, always.
No, not Berlin the compositor. I meant Berlin the city. You know, ta-da-ta-da-ta-ta-ta-ta, Berlin.
Oh, that's Berlin? Well,
do you know what's going on in Korea or Italy or Palestine or Yugo or Slavia?
Wait a minute, I'm still in Berlin.
Let's face it, Riley. Between your brain and the rest of the world, there's an iron curtain.
Gillis, I never realized it. Oh, this is terrible.
Riley, I got a book that's just the thing for you. The Encyclopedia of Universal Knowledge. You read this from A to Z, you'll know everything you have to know.
Yeah, but Babs is meeting us tonight. I'd like to make a good impression. I can't read a whole book before...
You don't have to. Just study up one hunk of knowledge. Then wait for the right opening in the conversation and jump in. Babs will be proud of you.
Yeah, that's just what I'll do, Gillis.
I'll go get the book right now.
Oh, Gillis, you're the best pal a man ever had.
Well, to show you the kind of a pal I really am, I'm only going to charge you $1 deposit and 2 cents a day.
Riley, what's that big book you got there?
Peg, you are looking at a new Riley. Riley of the intelligentsia. Riley the human bookworm.
What are you talking about?
Well, you see this book?
Encyclopedia Universal Knowledge.
Yep, I'm reading it from A to Z. I'm going to be right up to date.
Oh, let me see it.
Well, sure, here.
This book is going to bring you up to date?
You bet.
Riley, it was published in 1890. Now, take my advice and throw this book away. You won't learn anything useful.
Now, that's a fine thing. Fellow tries to improve his stupidity his own wife last time.
All right, it's your time you're wasting.
Well, I'm starting on page 1. Now, let's see. The aardvark. The aardvark is... Peg, look, it's in here.
What is?
It's the aardvark. Don't you remember the crackpot jackpot program? Cuckoo, cuckoo. They were going to pay a guy $30,000 if he'd have known what the aardvark was, and here's the answer, right here in this book. Listen, the aardvark, a large nocturnal burrowing mammal of Africa, subsisting largely on termites and having a long, extensive tongue, claws, and conspicuously long ears.
A perfect description of your friend Gillis.
And you said there was nothing useful in this book, and right on page 1 there's a fortune of information. Well, I'm going to read this book from cover to cover, and I don't want to be disturbed.
All right, dear, but don't snore too loud while you're reading.
Let's see. The aardvark is a large nocturnal burrowing mammal subsisting largely on termites and having a long, extensive tongue, claws, and conspicuously long ears. The aardvark is termites and claws and conspicuously long ears. Well, I think I ought to know it off by heart by now. I'll try it without looking. The aardvark is a large maternal mammy who burrows termites. Maybe I ought to look once more. The aardvark is a large... largely on termites. The aardvark is a large... long, extensive tongue, claws, and conspicuously long ears. I know it. I know it.
Not so loud. The girls will hear you in the living... Riley, where are you going?
Well, just going to say hello to the girls.
Riley, you stay out of it.
Oh, Peg, stop worrying. I haven't got my tonsils on me. You can search it.
Riley.
I'll be right back.
Oh, but that's ridiculous, Helene. I don't see why it's ridiculous.
Oh, hello, girl.
Oh, hello, Helene, if you just look at statistics, you find that ever since price control... I've studied the statistics. Now, I know just what you're going to say, but you're wrong.
What's the argument, little lady?
We were just discussing inflation, Mr. Riley. What would you say is the major cause of inflation?
The cause of inflation? Well, the cause of inflation. The cause of inflation is, did you know that the aardvark is a large nocturnal coral mammal consisting largely on termites that have a long tassel function?
But, Helene, I don't see how you can even mention Tchaikovsky or Paganini in the same breath with Berlin. I don't agree with you at all, Babs. Mr. Riley.
Huh?
What do you think, Mr. Riley?
Pardon me, I wasn't listening.
What do you think of Berlin?
Oh, Berlin. Well, if the Russians and the Americans...
Daddy, we're talking about Berlin, the songwriter.
Oh, you don't mean Berlin. Berlin. You mean, I'll be loving you always.
Daddy?
Did you know that the aardvark is a large nocturnal
Well, I'm no political expert, Babs, but my father says that Dewey will carry at least 40 states. Oh, I don't see how he can. The polls indicate that President Truman's gaining. What do you think, Mr. Riley? Who are you for? Truman, Dewey, or Wallace?
Now, personally, I'm voting for the aardvark. Well, what I mean was, did you know that the aardvark was...
And now back to the life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. Poor Riley is in the doghouse with his wife and daughter, Babs.
Hi, I'm home. Hi, Babsy.
Mother, shall I set the table?
Hi, Peg.
Yes, we'll eat now, dear.
Hi, Babsy.
Is there a clean tablecloth?
Hi, Peg.
In the drawer there.
Hi, Babsy.
This one?
Hiya, Peg.
No, the bottom one.
Hiya, Babsy. Wait a minute. What's going on here? I don't like talking to myself. I want an intelligent answer. Babs, why don't you say hello?
She isn't talking to you.
Well, that's a fine thing. Peg, did you hear what I said? Peg, say something.
Mother isn't talking to you either.
Well, that's a nice way to treat me. I work hard all day. I come home, everybody ignores me. Even a dog, when he comes in the house, people say hello to him. I'm entitled to that much.
Hello, Rover.
Dad, I'm sorry about last night, but it wasn't my fault. I only had time to study up about the aardvark.
Aardvark? Oh, Riley. If I hear that ridiculous word once more,
All right. I admit I made a mistake. Anybody can make a little mistake. That's why we have Alcatraz. I'm only human. Forgive and forget. Come on, huh?
All right, Daddy, I forgive you. It's over.
Oh, sure. Anyway, no harm was done.
Oh, no. Only Babs is on the phone all day long, explaining to her friends that her father isn't really a moron.
Well, thanks, Babsy.
He just acts that way.
Now, that's going too far. I don't have to stand here and be insulted in my own house. I'm leaving.
Well, where are you going?
I'm going out, and maybe I'll never come back. This is probably the last you'll ever see of me. I'll go right after supper. Oh, what a life. A house full of people and they don't talk to me.
It's exactly the same down at my place.
Who's that?
It is I, Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker. Your door was open.
Well, you should have knocked, Digger. You scared the life out of me.
Please, let's not talk shop.
I've been sitting here moping, Digger, trying to figure out the modern kids. Believe me, they can be a problem.
Oh, yes, most unpredictable. The other day, some scurrilous scamp stole a sign from a catering concern and hung it on the door of my business establishment. No, I was furious.
Well, why? What did the sign say?
Special rates for large parties.
Well, it ain't what Beth did it to in front of her friend.
Oh, it happens to every father. Take an incident with my daughter, Lily Fern. The dear child introduced me to a boyfriend of hers. He was one of those jitterbugs. In the course of our chat, he said to me, "Do you dig me, Jackson?" And I replied, "I dig everybody, but my name isn't Jackson."
Well, it all started on account of this here book, a cyclopedia. I was trying to improve myself.
Oh, let me see.
Here.
Riley, this book was published in 1890. It's worse than useless.
That's what my wife said. That's why we had a fight.
Your dear spouse was right. So admit you were in the wrong.
No, I can't.
Riley, this is no time for foolish pride. As we say in my circle, get off your high horse. Go to her. Humble yourself.
Yes, you're right, Digger. I've been a fool, and it's that Gillis's fault. He got me into this. If he hadn't given me this book, well, I'll fix him in his book. Give that to me, Digger.
Easy now, man. Easy.
Riley, what on earth are you doing?
I'm tearing up this book. It's worse than useless.
Well, now you're showing some sense. But you don't have to destroy it.
I'm tearing it up in 1,000 pieces. You were right all along, Peg. Why didn't I listen to you? I should have let you straighten me out instead of going to Digger.
There I disagree with you.
Well, it's all over and past, so let's forget about it.
I've already forgotten. As far as I'm concerned, I never heard of this book. I'm just going to be my own sweet, ignorant self. Hello?
Is that Jester A. Riley?
Speaking.
Mr. Riley, this is the Crackpot Jackpot calling.
Well, I'm not interested in them.
What? The Crackpot Jackpot.
What is it, Riley?
It's the Crack Jackpot. The Pot Jackpot. The Crack Jackpot. Shot put. That's what I've been saying.
Hello, Mr. Riley. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Mr. Riley, if you can answer our jackpot question correctly, you will get $35,000 in cash, or its equivalent, groceries for a family of 4 for 6 months.
35,000. Great. We'll be millionaires if I answer the question. Oh, I'm dying.
Riley, stop teasing me. Answer the question first.
Are you ready for the question, Mr. Riley?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, here it is. What is an aardvark?
An aardvark? Peg, they're asking me what an aardvark is.
You have 15 seconds.
Well, I know it. We'll be rich, Peg. We'll be rich.
You have only 10 seconds. What is it, Mr. Riley?
I know it. Send the money to 1313 Blueview Terrace.
First, you have to tell me, what is an aardvark?
Well, it's a cinch. An aardvark is... An aardvark is... An aardvark is... Would you mind repeating the question?
What is an aardvark? 5 seconds left.
An aardvark. Peg, the book. Get the book. Look it up in the book.
It's all torn up.
3 seconds.
An aardvark is... It's an aardvark. I don't remember.
Oh, I'm sorry. But cheer up, Mr. Riley. You win a free box of that Tubby Picnic Table Treats Snappies. Goodbye.
No, wait, don't hang up. I remember.
Hello, this is the operator.
Canard Park is a large nocturnal burrow in mammals subsisting largely on termites with a long extensile tongue, claws, and conspicuously long ears.
I'm sorry, there is no such number.
What a revolting development this is.
The Rileys will be back in just a moment.
Riley, will you eat your breakfast?
I can't get over it. I just can't get over it. All that money. We'd have been so rich. You could have had a mink coat.
Oh, I'll live without one.
Babs could have had a mink cape. And I could have had a mink sweatshirt. The chance of a lifetime to get rich,
Stop
and I
thinking about it, Riley. If you don't, you'll go crazy.
Yes, I know. You're right. I better forget about it. Well, anyway, there's one consolation. We got this here free box of Snappies. I think I'll eat.
Here's the milk.
You better hold your ears, Peg. You know what goes on when you pour milk over these Snappies. Well, here goes. I just ain't got no luck.